Hold on, there. I'm trying to get a sweater. It's huge. Hold on. Hold on. Hi, everybody. Hold on. Okay. Hi! How's everybody doing? Now, what if we said Higurashi, maybe Higuron donchi? How about pray? How about pray? How about pray? Okay, I understand. We'll do Higurashi. I'm not feeling this chapter. That's probably why. Alright, I'm a little under the weather, so my voice might sound not that good. But, gosh darn it, we're here, and we'll do it. Don't tisk me! Whatever. What is this? Every time I open Steam or GOG, I get flooded with games that I'm like, what a turret, girls.
What's that? It contains mature...
What does that mean? It could mean two things. What is that? Booba or action or both? Oh. Thank you. Howdy. Where... You guys can't see it. Silent Higurashi F. I don't think I see baka hentai. I just see ecchi. I just see like... I don't know about this one. It's $10 though. How many girls are there? I don't know. Looks like some Nikkei shit. I don't know. I don't know about this. What's this one? Fida Puti Samurai? I feel like I said a slur in another language.
Fida Puti Samurai.
Fida Puti Samurai. I did say it right. What is this? What is this? This looks ridiculous. Is that someone in fetish gear? What is going on, Chihochi? What is... gear. I'm gonna read this for you. This is so ridiculous.
Where is your happy place? Maybe it's in a bedroom, a calm place in the open, your bathroom, or maybe your personal computer. During times of need, a programmer developed a virtual cozy experience for his girlfriend. It was a warm, isolated wood cabin on the snowy Alps with chill out music playing on the background, a nice place to stay for a while. If not by a system bug on the basement showing a hidden path to another world. On Fida Puti Samurai, you will incarnate as Lisa, digging through a silly kind of rabbit hole, traverse urban environments, visit 13 levels on urban settings. Urban settings? Ooh. What is this? Fight bunny suit zombies, semi-naked waifus, punk girls, and others on 4 different enemy factions. I am kind of interested. This is so ridiculous. What is it? Oh, people like it. People like it. Awesome fast-paced shooter. It's a boomer shooter, by the way. Okay, I'll take a note. I'll take a note. You go from cozy game to just boomer shooter. Oh gosh. Anyway, let's start with Higurashi. Don't boomer shooters make you puke? Yes, but I still play them. I will never be racist to the boomer shooter. Oh man, speaking of which, tomorrow is demo mode, where I play demos. I have a lot of horror demos sent to me, and some of these demos...
let's just say we got Resident Evil at home. We got Resident Evil at home. We got, what's that other one? Typing of the Dead at home. We got a lot. We got a lot of shit at home. And you're gonna just have to eat it. You're gonna have to eat it. Okay, let's start. Higurashi when they cry. Higurashi. Shou-chan, iku de! Shou-chan, iku de! The No, I'm Not a Human full game is out. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna buy it unless I know I can play it. I have a lot of shit on my plate. Why is it? I know what the music is. Hold on. Properties. No prey. No prey. No prey. We'll just do Higurashi. Continue. We started it, right? Yes, we did. I totally forgot about everything in this chapter. This chapter has been really killing me. Wait, I thought this was a pray stream? Higurashi when they pray. Was the garden going into decline? It's been in decline for a while now. I haven't been paying attention to it. But I got a lot of delicata squash and pumpkins now. And, yeah. Next year, I'm gonna go harder in it. This year, I just said, God, do what you want. And God gave me delicata and pumpkins as the acorn squash that I didn't plant. And some lettuce and a little bit of tomatoes. I didn't get a lot of tomatoes this year. And, yeah. Strawberries and carrot and cucumber, which last year I didn't have cucumbers. This year I do. I'm gonna stick with this, I was gonna say brand, type of cucumber. Species, I guess, of cucumber. Yum. Having some iced tea with a raspberry, what is it called, emergency? Why is it? Was that the one where...
Emergency. It's made by a teacher.
I don't give a fuck. I was on all over the packaging. Was that the one? I feel bad if it wasn't the one. It was like emergency or something, right? Some vitamin C thing that was made by a teacher. Bitch, I'm a teacher technically. I teach people. Yeah. Kind of. Someone give you a recap, okay? So what happened was in this chapter, we're playing as a detective who came from the big city to the country. And we missed our wife who's about to give birth to our baby to come to Higurashi to solve a, what was it, abduction of some politician's grandkid. And we don't believe that anybody from some podunk town called Higurashi, or Hinamizawa, my bad, I'm sleepy, I'm brain farting, from Hinamizawa could ever take anybody anywhere. But we are slowly discovering with Ooishi, next to us in the core, that things are not what they seem here. So yeah, abducted by Fumo. So yeah, we're on the glowy arc, yeah. And I'm like, it's okay, I feel like this could have been first. But I understand why it was made. I get it. Let's just load it. Yes.
However, I had trouble believing that this crafty old man would simply help me, just like he claimed. Now, how should I go about this? I find it hard to believe that someone of your standing would help me out without strings attached. Well, it's not like I'm completely without an ulterior motive. As I recall, you guys have space in your budget allocated to pay informants, right?
funny. Oh, hi, Desklight. In a tangent, maybe Desklight knows. Do you know Silent Hill F? Is it good? How are people feeling about it? I know people were talking on Twitter.
I don't think I like it. I haven't played it yet, but I don't think I like it because there's
no sound, but it's okay.
I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it at all because there's fighting and things of that sort. She jigs and jags and goes this way and that way.
I saw someone play. I saw Almighty Lolly play it, and it looked fine. I don't know why everybody
donated $10 to the most wickedest Savashama. I hear it's amazing when the famous purple stuffed worm in Flapjaw space with the tuning fork does a raw blink on Horikiri Rock. I need scissors. 61.
Baka! Oh my gosh. It was very, very interesting gameplay. Have you seen the Anata gameplay? So no. I have not. Is it good? It's boring. Are you sure? I'm interested in the story more than the gameplay, to be fair. Anime GTA. It's good so far. It looks fine. It doesn't, it looks fine. I'm not, in love with it. I am more into Resident Evil, so I've never played any Silent Hill stuff. But yeah. My favorite Resident Evil, by the way, is Code Veronica. Because when I didn't like that stupid kid. And then what happens to him? He's so angsty. It just feels like that time, the perfect time. That 90s, 2000s angst.
I don't need you to tell me what to do. I'm gonna go get captured and get injected and turn into a monster. Yeah.
That was good times. I gotta say, the story does look interesting, though. The new Silent Hill is something. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? How do you feel about new Resident Evil? It's okay. I don't really care. After Resident Evil 4, everything's been fucking ridiculous. Everything is just amplified. So I'm okay. I don't really care. I didn't like which one didn't I like? There was one for DS that I played and I was like, nah, this kind of sucks. Revelations. I played Resident Evil Revelations 2 with my brother, and I was fuming. I was so mad because he got to play the guy with the gun, and I had to play the fucking kid with the flashlight, and all I had to do was point the light at shit, and he shoot. I was pissed. It was so boring. I had to stop. Like, screw this is terrible. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah. I hated that fucking game. Oh no! Don't do it!
9 donated $20 to the most wickedest Savashama.
Don't give me 20.
Actually, I am in really bad shape financially.
Ah!
I pay money to my ex-wife as part of our divorce settlement.
Oh my god.
Other bills.
I'm sorry.
I just had no choice but to make you pay for lunch.
But to make you pay for lunch the other day, I'm really sorry. Stop it! Oh man. Anyway, play as the girl, nerd. Yeah, I always play as the girl. For some dumb reason. I do like, there's one Resident Evil people don't like, and that's 5, I think? Is that the one with the Africa? I like the African one. That's fun. It's so ridiculous and fun. Resident Evil 5 is better at, and guess, yeah. It's either 5, I don't remember playing 6. Maybe I hated it so much that I said, I don't like it. I don't. Yes, rock punching Chris. Yes, yes. I like that one. Oh my gosh, 5 is fun. 6 is boring. To me, it's too ridiculous. It's too out there. I fucking hated it. And then I never played the one with the family because I got scared of that. So I don't think I own it. And then 8? Is that the latest one? Is that the... I've never played the more recent ones. Welcome to the family. I don't want to do that. The scene where they're sitting there and you eat, like, they force you to eat. No, man. I don't like that. I don't own it. I don't think I own it. Hold on. I don't own it, right? I better not. I do. Ah! 7. Wait, why do I have village? Did I buy village? Did somebody give me village? No! I'm afraid of it! No! Oh my god. I'm afraid of 7. 6 is just stupid. 5 is great. 4 is pretty good, actually. I like the place he goes to. It's like Catalan, right? It's funny. 2 is okay. First one is always nice. It's always nice. It's a good, comfy time in the mansion. So when are they gonna port the Code Veronica? Or did they and I just don't know about it? What's the train one? I think that's 6. Is it 6? Or there's like a big tentacle thingy on the train? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, 2 is okay. It's not great. It's okay. Is it 0's a piece of shit, bro! 0's a piece of shit! I ain't buying that! Ain't no way! 0 can suck my dick. You loved 0? Get the fuck out of my... 0 was good. I'll try it. Maybe one day. I've seen clips of it and I'm just like, get the fuck out of my face. Get this shit out of my face. Give me Code Veronica port, please. Thank you. Okay, back to this.
Something you don't need to submit a receipt for.
そいつでですね、情報屋との接触にかかるコスト、ちょいと。
Just a little bit of that would be the cost of meeting with an informant.
つまり、情報屋と渡りをつける謝礼をあなたにお支払いしろということですね。
In other words, give the compensation earmarked for the informant to you first.
取引内容が明快で助かります。
Well, it seems that the details of this case are so clear-cut. He certainly was something else for being able to brazenly state his ulterior motive like this, rather than him doing this out of the kindness of his heart. Everything was a lot clearer if he was being compensated for this deal. I felt like he was the type of man who was good at these backroom dealings.
誤解しないでくださいよ。
Don't misunderstand me, please.
お金が必要なのは私にじゃなくて、
It's not me
情
who
報
needs
屋
the
になん
money.
ですからね。
It's the informant, okay?
まあ支払いの関係上、お金は私が預かりますがね。
In regards to the payment, I'll be handling the money.
支払いはいつ？
When do you want it?
今すぐがいいですね。
Right now would be good.
ないなら明日でもいいんですよ。
If you don't have it on you, tomorrow works as well. I pulled out a wallet that was different from my personal one. The price was pretty much fixed depending on what kind of info I was paying for. In this case, the payment was up front, also considering the fact I didn't know what kind of info I would get. I shouldn't pay too much. When I suggested that, Ooishi suddenly stretched out his hand and tightly grabs the contents of his wallet. Shit!
こういう時はですね、ケ
At
チケチし
times
ない
like
方がいい
this,
んで
it's
す。
best you not be so stingy, kid.
大丈夫大丈夫。
大丈夫
損はさせませんから。
It's alright, it's alright. It won't go to waste.
わかりました。
I understand.
ケチケチしないことにします。
I won't be stingy.
で、
And
調べたい情報は何です？
what kind of information are you looking for?
内容によって多少アプローチが変わることもありますので。
Depending on what you want, how we approach this will probably change.
他言無用を誓ってもらえますか？
You swear you won't spread this information to anybody else?
大石さん。
Ooishi-san.
誓うまでもありませんよ。
I can't swear too much.
私もあなたたちと
I'm
同
the same
じ。
as you.
職務上知り得たことは他言できませんからね。
I can't withhold information obtained during the course of my duties. Alright, I'm paying for this. I'm paying for this.
わかりましたよ。
I got it, I
誓います。
swear.
ここで聞くことは他言無用です。
Nothing here gets said to anywhere else.
それに、
On top of
あ
that,
なたのおかげで溜まってたツケを全部
I
返せる
can
ん
pay
ですか
back
ら
what I
ね。
owe from my mahjong debts.
私は少なくとも金の絡んだ約束は絶対に違い
In
ません
any
よ。
case, I won't break a promise that involves money.
うん
Oh man. This guy. I was still unsure if I should trust him until the very last moment. But in the end, I broke down. Ooishi wasn't the type of guy I should trust 100%. But there was no mistaking he had access to underground information networks. In order to accomplish my mission swiftly, I needed his cooperation. I set my resolve.
鬼ヶ淵主導名がある事件に関与しているか否かを調査しています。
I'm investigating whether or not the Onigafuchi Guardians is related to a certain incident.
ある事件？
Certain incident?
犬飼建設大臣が何者かに脅迫を受けている可能性があります。
There's a possibility that the Minister of Construction, Inukai, is being coerced by someone.
可能性とはまた遠回しな言い方ですね。
Saying there's a possibility is kind of a roundabout way of putting it.
大臣の近辺に内通者がいるらしいのです。
It appears there's a mole close to the minister.
その内通者によって高度に監視されているらしく、
And due
大
to
臣は
that mole,
脅迫初期から屈服している様子です。
the minister had been monitored quite thoroughly and was seemingly forced to cede to their threats right away.
警察へも我々へも一切通報していません。
None of this was reported to us or the police.
なるほど。
I see.
だから脅迫を受けている可能性という言い方になると。
So that's why you're saying there's only one possibility he's being... Yeah, there's only a possibility he's being coerced.
だとすると妙ですね。
In that case, isn't it a little strange?
大臣が誰にも通報しないなら、どうしてあんたらは事件を知ったん
That's a
です？
good point, actually. I never thought of that.
If the minister didn't report this to anybody, how did you guys know about this incident? If we didn't spy on the minister's private life, you would have never found out.
その説明は私が情報屋に提供する必要がないと思われるので割愛します。
I don't think we have to provide that explanation to the informant, so I'm omitting it. Ooishi had apparently caught on. He quietly chuckled when I refused to explain.
なるほど
You。didn't miss much. We're still in the car.
I see.
大臣の近辺にスパイがいるらしいから、公安だけの極秘調査ということになったわけですか。
There's a spy close to the minister, so public safety made it a highly classified investigation.
そりゃあ確かに穏便な話じゃないですね。
That certainly isn't a very amicable story, is it?
ことを公にすれば大臣の政治生命も含め政変に発展する可能性は極めて高いでしょう。
If this matter became public, not only would this affect the minister's political career, but the possibility of there being a shift in the political landscape is extremely high.
犯人グループの目的がそこにあるならば有識事態に発展する可能性があります。
If the perpetrator's aim is indeed that, then this could develop into a very grave situation.
政府の列島改造は、まあいろいろ方々との衝突も多いらしいですからね。
Well, the government having development projects all over the country, they butted heads with quite a few people.
どんなささやかなケチでも一つつけば、野党勢力がドット票を伸ばす可能性もあると。
It wouldn't take much wrongdoing for left-wing parties to suddenly garner more support.
大臣がどのような要求を受けているのかは現在調査中です。
We're currently investigating what demands are being forced on the minister.
ですが、脅迫の方法だけはほぼ分かっています。
But at least we have a good idea of how he's being threatened.
なんです？
How?
大臣の孫の誘拐です。
The minister's grandson was kidnapped.
周辺は否定していますが、最後の目撃から見て、
Hello,
すで
serious?
に
How you doing?
誘拐後72時間が経過していると思われます。
Oh, my hands. Ow! Ow! Ah, that's better. That's better. Old lady hands, hold on. Ah.
The minister's grandson was kidnapped. They're denying it, but judging from when he was last seen, it's believed it's already been over 72 hours since the kidnapping.
3日ですか。
So 3 days.
波の身代金目的ならもう決着してますね。
If they would just after ransom money, this would have been settled by now.
金銭でなく、大臣に何らかの政治的なアクションを要求している可能性が極めて高いでしょう。
Girl, you sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies when somebody pours the milk in.
Yes. Yes, I am. Oh my god.
It may be this isn't for monetary gain. The possibility that they're forcing the minister to do something politically is extremely high.
それを我々は黙認するわけにはいきま
Yeah,
せん。
you're right. That's something we just can't consent to.
で、それの犯人グループとの可能性として、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟がリストに上がったわけですね。
So then, the Onigafuchi Guardians was listed as one of the possible perpetrators.
そうです。
That is correct. Oh, man.
大臣の孫を誘拐してダム計画の撤回を求めるか。
Kidnap the minister's grandson and demand the cancellation of the dam project.
どうでしょう、大石さん。
What do you think, Ooishi-san?
その可能性はあなたから見てあり得ると思いますか？
From your point of view, do you think that's possible? Ooishi seemed to ponder the idea for a while. The section chief at the regional office had responded immediately with,
Yeah, it's possible.
however, Ooishi, who was well informed about the matter, was hemming and hawing. Huh. Finally, just a little bit, he said something that was really just a little strange.
明治前まではですね、
This was before the Meiji era, you see.
この辺りはhinamizawa村って名前じゃなくて鬼ヶ淵村って呼ばれてたそうです。
This area wasn't called Hinamizawa village back then. It was called Onigafuchi.
うちのばあ様の受け売りですがね。
This is just what I heard from my mother. This topic was so completely and suddenly unrelated to the subject of kidnapping the minister's grandson. It was like I was taken slightly aback.
鬼ヶ淵村。
Onigafuchi.
あ、
Oh.
それで鬼ヶ淵死守同盟という名称になったわ
So
けですね。
that's why they're called the Onigafuchi Guardians.
鬼ヶ淵村ってのはですね、人食い鬼の住む村だと言われてたんだそうです。
You see, the village of Onigafuchi was said to be inhabited by demons that devoured humans.
今でも村人は自分の体に鬼の血が半分流れてると信じてます。
Even now, it's believed that the blood of these demons partially courses through the veins of the villages.
人食い鬼。
Demons that devour humans.
大石さん、
Ooishi-san,
それ何の話ですか？
what are you saying?
情報ですよ。情報。
It's information.
I know he's not gonna give me that information and take my money, bitch. No, you don't. No, you
さ
don't.
っきあなたからたくさんもらっちゃいましたからね。
It's information. I got a lot from you just now.
少しもらいす
A
ぎ
little
ました。
too much.
その分サービスしてあげてるん
In
ですよ。
exchange, I'm giving you a little freebie. Ooishi finally smiled, but it didn't seem like he was fooling around.
先を続けてください。
Please continue.
人食い鬼たちはですね、
You see, these human-devouring demons.
普段は仙人と崇められてひっそりと暮らしているんですがね、
Normally, they were revered as Taoist transcendents and lived tucked away from the rest of the world.
やっぱり人食いですから定期的に麓の村に降りてきては獲物をさらっていったんだそうです。
But they ate people after all, so apparently they go into villages in the foothills regularly and abduct their prey.
それをですね、鬼隠しと言いまして、
They used to call that being demoned away, or Onigafuchi. Demoned away. It was the first time I heard such a peculiar phrase. However, I felt something slightly ominous from this horrifying tale of demons abducting people in order to eat them.
ほら、よく世間一般に神隠しっていうのがあるじゃないですか。
Look, you know there's a common phrase, spirited away.
人がある日突然失踪してしまうとそう言うでしょ。
When people suddenly go missing one day, they call it that.
この辺りでは同じことがあると鬼隠しって呼ぶんです。
Same thing happens around here. They call it demoned away.
その昔話と本件に何か関係が？
How does that tale relate to the matter at hand?
いえいえ、
Oh no.
直接的には何の関係もないただのおしゃべりですがね。
There's no direct relationship. I'm just making small talk here.
ただ
It's just
Katamp, katamp.
the car shook. At some point, the gravel road had changed to a paved one.
ただ、何です？
It's just what?
この土地に鬼隠しという名の失踪誘拐を暗示するキーワードがあるということだけはお
Damn.
話ししておこうと思いまして。
That around here, the phrase demoned away is somewhat of a code for disappearances and kidnappings. I just thought I'd mention that.
今回の大臣の孫の誘拐と関係あるかは分かりませんがね。
I don't know if this has anything to do with the kidnapping of the minister's grandson.
はあ、深い話ではないんで
There's
す。
no deep meaning behind it.
そんな言われの話があるということだけでもね。
It's just, there's that little bit of history. Yeah. Onigafuchi. Human-eating demons coming down from the foothills and abducting their prey. Then, in order to cancel the dam project that threatened to submerge the village they lived in, did they demon away the minister's grandson? Then, they already made an example out of the minister's grandson. Had they? Had they already made an example out of the minister's grandson and eaten him alive? What? Ha 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 ha.
ちょっと興味深い昔話ですね。
It's a bit of an interesting old tale, isn't it?
鬼たちの村にみだりに踏み入ればたちまち囚われ食い殺される。
If you set foot into the demon's village without reason, you'll promptly be captured and eaten alive.
だから鬼ヶ淵村には近づ
So
く。
don't go near Onigafuchi.
今時の若者はこんな迷信信じませんがね。
Kids these days might not believe such superstitions.
沖宮の明治生まれの年寄り連中には今でも真面目に信じてるのが多いですよ。
But amongst the older folk in Okinomiya, born in the Meiji era, many would never question these warnings. Hinamizawa village was feared by the people in the area. I recalled that piece of information I heard from the Prefectural Public Safety Division.
何しろこの辺は田舎ですからね。
In any case, we're in the boonies out here.
迷信なんかが平気で幅を利かせてるんです。
It's kind of expected that there be some superstitions around.
東京から来られた赤坂さんにはちょっと想像もつかないでしょうがね。
Somebody from Tokyo like you, Akasaka-san, probably wouldn't even begin to imagine it, could you? The man-eating demons, as a price for violating the sanctity of their village, kidnapped the minister's grandson and swallowed him whole. That ludicrous idea flew through my head. It was so absurd. I was half disgusted with myself. Ooishi was just teasing me. Stupid. It was all really so stupid. Come to think of it, by then, I may have already been seized by the curse of that dubious village. For me to realize that would take a little more time.
So bitter. But it's good for you. We gotta check the tips. View all new tips, baby. We gonna start with a call with Yukie.
そうですか。急な出張は大変ですね。
Oh, that voice, man. Oh, really? It's tough when it's such a sudden assignment.
どうぞお気をつけて。
Please be careful.
出張はどちらへですか？
Where are you headed?
もう出張先なんですか？
You're already there? Bitter because the emergency? Yes. The vitamin C, you can taste it.
Whenever I headed out on assignment, she would ask me where. Not just Yukie, but anybody would have asked the same question. If it was a cold place, she would urge me to pack a thick jacket. If it was far, she'd warn me to be careful on the drive over. If it was just normal everyday concern that led to asking such an obvious thing. I felt sad that I couldn't answer such a run-of-the-mill question.
ごめんなさい。言ってはいけない規則でしたね。
Sorry. It's something that you can't talk about, isn't it?
どうかお気をつけて。
Please be careful.
すまん、ユキ。
Sorry, Yukie.
あなたはいつの頃からすぐに謝られるようになったんでしょう。
At
今
some
のお仕事に
point,
疲れた
you
最初は
started
あれだけ
apologizing right
充
away.
実していらっしゃったのに。
Even though when you first started your job, you were all gung-ho about it. Gung-ho. Gung-ho.
Yukie laughed as though she had realized something.
Yes, this is the wife, this pregnant, that's gonna have the baby soon.
At times like this, Yukie had the magical power to see right through me.
私が入院してもう随分になりますものね。あなたもそろそろ寂しくなってきましたか？
It's already been quite a while since I was admitted to the hospital. Are you finally getting lonely?
からかうなよ。
Don't
寂しがる
tease
ような
me!
年じゃないさ。
No! I'm too old to get lonely. Baka.
さてさていかがでしょう。あなたは本当に甘えん坊さんですからね。
Oh, really? You actually like to be doted on, don't you?
私と一緒でないとだんだん弱気になってきてしまうのでしょう。
Don't you start getting a little faint of heart when I'm not around?
ああ、もう。今、ユキエの頭に小悪魔の角がにょっきりと生えているのが目に浮かぶよ。
What is he actually saying? Cause there ain't no fucking way. Hold on.
ああ、もう。今、ユキエの頭に小悪魔の角がにょっきりと生えているのが目に浮
No
かぶ
way
よ。
that translates to orgies. Okay, good. It's the whole thing. I got scared for a moment. I was like, where's the rest of it? Baka, you can't fool Sawa.
Oh, jeez. I can see the little devil horns sprouting from your head right now.
君は昔から。
You've always been like this.
Oh.
はぐらかさないはぐらかさない。私に構ってもらえなくて寂しい寂しいって。
You can't hide it. You can't hide it. If I don't play with you, you get all lonely.
あなたが尻尾を振っている音が受話器を通しても聞こえてきますよ。
I can hear your tail wagging over the phone.
This side of Yukie wasn't something you could guess existed from seeing her usual modest behavior, but it was something that she didn't show to anybody else but me. Oh, so cute.
Oh, thank you, Salas. That's exactly what I need. A moon rune. The first one looks like 2 boxes, and then the second one looks like a person? What is that? What is that? Oh my gosh. They're so tiny. How do we read them? Oh no. And then one looks like a Z that got erased. Oh man.
Normally, I'd poke her to hide my embarrassment and bring an end to the conversation, but I couldn't do that over the phone. Of course, Yukie was clever. She was teasing me because of that.
あなたを困らせるのがこんなに楽しいと気づいたのはいつからだったでしょうね。
I wonder when I figured out that giving you grief was this much fun.
そろそろ許してくれよ。とにかく君の元気な声が聞けてよかった。
Give me a break. In any case, it's good to hear you so lively.
そうでしょ？元気になれましたか？
I know, right? Did I cheer you up? It says Sour Sam's. Sour Sam's. Sour Sam! It's my own shit! Is that what it says? Sour Sam! And I'm here to read the VN. Oh my gosh. Sour Sam. Okay, enough of that. Okay.
I had called Yukie to keep her from being lonely when she was by herself in the hospital room. Of course, that was nothing more than a pretense that I, being shy, had come up with. It seemed that Yukie had long since seen through that act. Yeah.
また電話をしてくださいな。私がダメな時はお父さんが相手をしてくれるでしょう。
Please phone again. When I'm not feeling up to it, I'll get my father to talk to you.
もっともお父さんが相手ではあなたのことだから電話先でも直立不動で喋っていそう。
Although, if you're talking with my father, I get the feeling that you'd be standing at attention on the other side of the line.
For a while longer, Yukie kept teasing me without letting me end the call.
A record of opening remarks. Let us see this.
Chairman, members of the XX Party, congratulations are due as we are celebrating 25 years since our founding. The past 25 years have seen much growth in the XX Prefecture. The once quiet scenery of nothing but fields now has seen the opening of a new stop for the bullet train.
There's gonna be a bullet train in India. That's what they said. Can you believe it? Can you believe? Can you believe it? They're gonna upgrade the trains, but not the streets. Can you believe it? They have horrible infrastructure. It makes me very upset. But then again, I'm not from India, so I watch a lot of travel videos, and everybody and their mama says don't go there. Don't go there. It's pretty bad. Don't go there. Tier 3 trains. Is that a new boss type of train? Is that a new boss type of train? No, do you think they'll still try to ride on? I saw a dude go and he accidentally went in the wrong train car. It was one of the ones that they stuffed themselves inside of. And he didn't realize that until he got in the line and he got pushed inside of it. And it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And there was like a kid there, a mom and her daughter there. And the daughter had to get squished down. You could It's so horrible. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Do not go to India as female. I don't think you should go as a male. I really don't. They try to scam the shit out of people. I've seen it. They try to scam. The minute you step out of the airport, in the airport, they fucking try to scam you. It's so sad. But yeah, well, that's enough of that. We could talk about that some other day. I watch a lot of travel videos. A lot. Oh man, they try to destroy your guts. Yeah, I've heard of Deli Belly. There's a video, you can look it up, of some guy trying to get Deli Belly and like see how long it takes him. I think it was like 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, it's wild. It's wild.
And with the development of the highway, we've seen a rebirth of a modern city bursting with useful energy. We've reaped the benefits of new businesses and industry. And with a special reverence, the residents of XX Prefecture have for time-honored traditions, history and culture, business and industry. With these ideals in harmony, they have accomplished in growing their city into one of Japan's foremost metropolises. Of course, the development of the XX Prefecture couldn't have happened without the growth of the XX Party. Woohoo! We are resolved to see every one of our campaign promises to fruition, reaching our targets definitively. Definitively.
How does your voice do that? It just does that. Hi, are you new? I haven't seen you before, Baka. Fine, I'll do this voice. It's much more normal.
We have resolved to see every one of our campaign promises to fruition, reaching our targets definitively and expediently, like arrows fired from a bow. With these arrows as the fundamental basis of the XX Party, our members have sought to pierce the obstructions preventing the happiness of the residents of XX Prefecture. By the way, Sawa, if you ever have time, try...
So... Hold on, where's my... Hold on. I'll write it down. I gotta follow up. I'll write it in this follow-up section. Hello, Manny Fresh! Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's see. Is that try Sui no Sora? Okay, alright. Sui no Sora. Rien. Okay. There we go. Then the boomer pepper. Now where was I?
With these arrows as the fundamental basis of the XX Party, our members have sought to pierce the obstructions. Oh wait, I read that part. Never mind. But I do believe that everybody here is unlike an ordinary arrow. While being as unfaltering and straightforward, we have not neglected in seeking solutions that conform to the current day and age, while also keeping an eye on the future. An arrow once loosed?
Lost it? I don't know, my ESL is showing. Is it
Can only fly to its destination. Everyone here, however, is no simple arrow. Even once...
Lost? Do we need to call ICE? Do they know how to read this? Can they help me? Loosed? Like meaning shot? Like meaning... Does that mean shot? That doesn't mean shot. That doesn't mean that. What are you saying? That doesn't... Loose. Okay. Loosed. I've never heard of this. I've never saw any kind of... What is that? With this D at the end. I've never heard that. Anyway, loosed.
from the bow without neglecting our studies, while employing new methods and implementing more effective and flexible ideas, thus being able to change trajectories mid-flight. We are magical arrows.
No, I don't read fantasy novels. I just read like Sherlock Holmes shit, detective shit. Anyway.
The modern age marches ever forward. Sometimes it marches faster than the time taken from planning to execution. The following part was not put in the script. It is thought to have been ad-libbed by the minister. For example, there have recently been numerous problems with the Hinamizawa power plant project. Rather than forcing through the project solely because it was decided upon by the government, it is necessary to reflect on and adjust to the ever-changing needs of the residents, the region, and the next generation. The protests by the local residents that surround the Hinamizawa Dam, these are also the will of the people of the XX Prefecture. If you feel that there is no need to listen because of the project has already been finalized, then you do nothing more than shed a poor light on Japan's post-war democracy. The following is per the script. For the lasting happiness of the citizens of Japan and the residents of XX Prefecture, please consider these policies thoroughly. I believe, however, we have all gained something from the flexibility and foresight of the XX Party. I have taken up much of your time. However, allow me to say the following to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our founding. Chairman, members of the party in attendance, thank you very much for today.
Gears and fire and the taste of honey. What? Is this some cult shit? What is this?
The world is filled with people blessed with relationships. Of course, that doesn't mean everyone is connected to each other. It's obvious that on the other side of the planet, there are people laughing and crying who can't possibly have an effect on you. However, in this extremely limited community of the neighborhood, that sort of connection is just a matter of fact. It's quite possible that a single remarkable event could have massive consequences inside a small community. If you were to increase that in scale, a perfect stranger on the other side of the globe might become enough of a legend to have an effect on our lives. Well, it's not always that way. Like I said at the beginning, the links between people basically aren't that relevant in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, thank you, Manufresh, for the 5 gifted memberships! Boy, 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 boy!
Whether some household nearby is having steak or croquettes doesn't matter to me. When I put on my shoes, it doesn't matter to anybody whether I put the right one on first or the left. This much the average person can understand. But actually, in reality, this is the truth. The bonds between people are quite well defined. It's not just a matter of distance, of being far or near. For example, let's say that person A's actions have some effect on me. But then, person B's actions could have absolutely no consequence on my life. The reverse also holds true. Just because my actions affect person A doesn't always mean that they affect person B as well. Let's put it bluntly. If the bonds between people are like gears in a machine, the gear that represents me meshes with some people, but is isolated from others. There are some people who would try arguing against this. Those people would bring up the example of gears in a clock. Each gear indeed only directly meshes with one or two others.
So how you gotta play with those Frogware Sherlock Holmes games.
Boy, I'm already ahead of you. Before I was a chuba, let me tell you, I played all them damn games except for like one. Boy, I love them games.
I played and beat almost all of them. I think there's like only a couple I haven't played because I haven't found the time. But my favorite so far out of the bunch is the Jack the Ripper one. I was gonna write to them and I was gonna tell them how much I love their stupid games. I love those stupid Frogware games, Sherlock Holmes games. So they're like, hello, I'm a big Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle fan, and I like your games. I like them a lot. They're kind of hokey, but I like them. Yes. Okay, back to this.
However, if you rotate one gear, the one next to it is moved, which connects to the next one and the next. In the end, all the gears are moving. There is a logic behind this, more than enough to convince the average person. Why is the argument convincing? The answer is simple. The relationships between people are ambiguous and can only be described conceptually. How the gears are connected and how their movements are chained together can't be used as a fundamental explanation, so it throws a wet blanket on that argument. So for the people who like that explanation, I'll use the example of a clock again to refute it. First of all, to say that this world is a singular clock would be wrong. That is, there isn't only one clock. There exist many clocks in this world, each counting their own time. If you think about it, the idea that this world is just one big clock is the height of arrogance. Even if you use the analogy of gears to explain human relationships, then you should be able to explain it by using an analogy of multiple clocks unrelated to a single gear. Neighbors A and B. A is a gear in the same clock as me, so it's best to remain civil. B is a gear in a different clock, so he doesn't really matter to me at all. That's the kind of clear distinction I'm talking about. You want to say I'm being fallacious? Then let's change the analogy to something more familiar so you can understand. You've probably heard of the phrase, a fire on the opposite shore, sometime in your life, no? For example, if your neighbor's house was on fire, you'd probably try and help put it out, wouldn't you? It'd be awful if the fire spread and burned down your house, after all. But what if that fire was in a town on the opposite side of a river? Would you still go out of your way to help? You wouldn't, would you? Even though it would be the wrong thing to do, there's no way the fire could spread to your own house. Even if it turned into a huge conflagration, there's no relation to the houses that will spread fire to yours and those that won't. With this basic example, you should be able to see the difference between gears that are and aren't related to your own. Having said that, there's still a lot to think about, even without a river to divide it. After all, it's not a spatial problem like being on one side of the river, is it?
That was so fucking stupid. That was so fucking stupid because there is something good you could do. You could pray to God. Baka. Anyway. Yes, there are certain things that are out of your control, and you cannot help that. But you could pray to God that He would direct His will to those things. I'm not talking about manifestation, that's stupid bullshit. But yeah, they're Japanese, they don't pray to our God, I know. I'm just stating my point.
You don't actually care about... You can't do anything over there. That gear doesn't affect you.
Sure, you may think that, but it hurts God when other people are harmed by evil things. So there, bitch. I mean, baka. I'm sorry. I was gonna say bitch ass baka. Oh, that's kind of gives me a sense of like not. It's little tits. I don't know, of nihilism in there. Little bit of nihilism. I don't like that. We ain't playing with that here. Nihilism hurts people more than you think.
The car had stopped, but he didn't know any more than that. For not only was he blindfolded, but locked in the trunk of a car. How could people become this powerless just by being robbed from their sight? He absolutely wouldn't have known this without experiencing it firsthand. He soon realized it was pointless to try and undo his bonds, with the confines of the trunk quickly making him lightheaded. He had no choice but to let this mild torture dull his senses. That's why, when the car had stopped, and the unpleasant vibration ceased as the engine was killed.
I don't know why I'm getting hiccups all of a sudden. For a Japanese, that's very individualistic point of view. It is. I get, like, from a pragmatic point of view, he's right. He's right. But from a Christian point of view, he's wrong. He's wrong. You shouldn't do things because they affect you personally. You should do things because God told you to do those things. Baka. Bitch ass baka. That's why. Anyway, where were we? Okay, let's get to this. This is why I'm not into philosophy or theology. I don't talk about it anymore. I just get so frustrated. God help me. I just get so frustrated. Because people like being, you know, and they like playing these games of like,
Well, you're selfish too. You live your life. You live your life selfishly. Yeah, me. I'm. You and I. We're the same.
no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Nope. We are not the same.
I'm a secular humanist, and that's what I believe. We're the same, aren't we? No, we are not.
Anyway.
That's why, when the car had stopped and the unpleasant vibration ceased as the engine was killed, he couldn't help but delude himself that he was being set free, even though nothing had been resolved in reality. Of course, he was soon removed from that delusion. He strained his ears when he heard one of the men who had abducted him and an older man he was hearing for the first time strike up a conversation.
お疲れさんです。ひなはトランクに。
Nice to meet you. The chick is in the trunk.
騒ぎすぎで多少衰弱してるようですが、ご命令通り傷一つつけちゃいません。
So nice. Such a nice voice. Whoever you are, man, you have a nice voice.
The chick is in the trunk. He struggled so much that he's probably exhausted right now, but there's not a mark on him, just as ordered.
おう、手間かけましたの。
Oh, it must have been a handful. He must have been. That poor little chick. The trunk opened, letting in a blast of fresh, cool air. Even though up until now he had been thinking about getting out of that stuffy trunk, when it was actually opened, he suddenly became uneasy. Even enough so that he wished that the lid of the trunk would once again close, separating himself from them. Suddenly, somebody stroked his head. Of course, since he was blindfolded, he couldn't tell if the hand was petting him or simply evaluating how easy it would be to remove his scalp. Unable to tell the difference, he could only freeze as he imagined the worst-case scenario.
すったらん。愛そうにの。
Poor little
震
bugger.
えとんね。
He's shaking.
おとなしくしばらく過ごすがよかろう。
Just stay calm for a bit.
Poor little bugger, he's shaking. Look at that little chicken. That poor little chicken. Poor little chicken.
The older man said that kindly as he stroked the boy's head.
本に辛い思いしちゃろな。だがな。おんめのおじいちゃんは優しい人だね。
This must be real tough for you, but you see, your Gramps is a nice old man.
すぐに助けて
He's
く
a
れる
nice
だろ
old man. I'll help you soon enough. I don't like this. You stole me!
Having heard nothing but the average standard dialect his whole life, the older man's distinct intonation left a deep impression on the boy. But he had no idea what he was saying. For your Gramps to register as meaning your grandfather took a while to process. Eventually, the hand that was stroking his head loosened the blindfold.
目隠しはまずいっすよ。面が割れると後々まずいです。
Can't keep his eyes covered. If he splits his face open, it'd be bad.
ああ、そうかの。なんら、せめて猿靴はくらい外したらんな。
Yeah, there. We might as well take out the game.
これぎゃ、息もできんね。
Ah, it's so sweet. Can we hear it again?
ああ、そうかの。なんら、せめて猿靴はくらい外したらんな。これぎゃ、息もできんね。
I love it! Your country Japanese. Oh my gosh, it sounds awesome. I like it. I don't know what dialect this is, but I like it. I like it a lot. Oh yeah, it sounds badass. It's Osaka. Is it? I don't know. Anyway. With that, we might as well take out the gag. He can't breathe like that.
叫ばれたらまずいです。こいつのことは俺たちに任せてください。
There'll be trouble if he yells. Leave him to us.
たく、気の利かんやっちゃらな。本家にむごい仕打ちは戦議やっちゃっとる。
Oh, that sounds so different. It's so weird. It is so weird, but I like it. These young guys don't know how to treat somebody. That main family said no rough
そ
stuff.
こんとこ、肝に刻むんよ。
You better know that well.
分かってます。手荒な真似はしませんよ。
There. We won't do anything stupid.
小僧がおとなしくしててくれる分にはね。
As long as the kid cooperates, that is.
The man's hand prodded roughly and repeatedly at the boy's head. A rugged hand, unlike the affectionate one that had been stroking his head before. Just stay cooperative. If you struggle, there's no guarantee what will happen.
Appropriating your culture. Sorry, can you do a Southern Belle voice like old school Georgia? I don't know that one. I'd have to listen to somebody. I'm from the north, you see. I'm from Chicago. And I can do a straight up Chicago accent. Because... Look. And I try to hide it. It's very difficult. Anyway. Oh gosh, there. That's right.
You know, when I speak like this, it's really hard to hide it. You can hear it. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh geez. Are the Chicagoans Yankees? Technically, yeah, we're all Yanks up here. I bet Sawa could not handle some serious Creole Cajun speak. No, I probably couldn't. No. No, probably not. No. Okay, where were we?
If you struggle, there's no guarantee what will happen. That clenched threat was literally beaten into his head.
Okay. But a lot of my friends from Chicago, they came up from Katrina. So they told me how to say Nolans. New Orleans? No, Nolans. That's what they called it. So yeah. A few tips. No, we ain't we done with the tips. Continue? Yes.
Waking up in a cheap hotel in the city was by no means pleasant. I remembered even during the long camping trips we had during grade school. I wanted to get home so quickly, counting out the days left on my fingers. Waking up this morning, I was somehow reminded of that. Was it a need to be with my wife when she gave birth? A particular type of homesickness? As a productive member of society, as a public servant bound to fulfill his duties, it was pathetic indeed. Those negative emotions faded as I downed my breakfast, which was surprisingly not half bad. Yeah. Meeting with the informant that Ooishi had provided would be tonight. Until then, I couldn't just be lazing around.
Yeah, just skip your job, bro. Your wife needs you. Yep.
The Onigafuchi Guardians was protesting the dam's construction in various ways. Included in this was a strategy for improving public relations, which could be categorized into two major forms, combative and peaceful. In regards to the former, as an attempt to keep law enforcement in check, they appealed to the public's sympathy by highlighting the oppressive and inhumane tactics of the police and the brutality of the riot squads. The latter, peaceful route. I always say route or route. Gosh darn it! Baka. Stressed how precious the natural surroundings of Hinamizawa was, seeking people who would oppose the dam on environmental grounds. As part of that, the village of Hinamizawa had invited celebrated zoologists and botanists, as well as environmental groups to advertise the nature surrounding the town. According to the news, in recent years there's been a group calling itself Hinamizawa Nature Watching, setting up free sightseeing tours. I would have liked to take advantage of that opportunity. When I called the village administrative offices, they said it was too late to apply for the tour, and they were still undecided as to when they'd be doing another one.
そうですか。
そうですか。
次回の募集はありませんか。
So there's no applications for next time.
残念です。
Too bad.
あんた、環境保護団体さんですか？
Are you a member of an environmental group?
それとも雑誌さんの人？
Or maybe somebody from a magazine?
いえ、個人です。
No, just here privately.
個人？観光ですかね？
Privately? And you're a tourist?
観光みたいなものです。
Something like that.
美しい自然を写真に残すのが趣味なんで。
It's my hobby to take pictures that display how beautiful nature can be.
雑誌でとても貴重な自然が残っていると読んだので、楽しみにしていたのですが。
I read in a magazine that there were some precious nature reserves here, so I was looking forward to it. I knew there was an article that had something like that written in it, but I hadn't actually read it. Was it this ad-libbed lie not going to work?
Was it? What? Was it this unlovely lie? Who wrote this? Oh, we know. Was it this ad-libbed lie not going to work? Was it there in the square, in the corner of the room, staring back at you? The lie. What's he? Oh my gosh. Every Miyazaki movie sucks. You know, Fate used to be believable. Nice try, though. Nice try.
However, contrary to my expectations, the person I was speaking to laughed happily.
Hey, come. The village is a little busy right now, but you're totally welcome here.
ぜひそうさせていただきます。ありがとうございます。
In that case, I'll graciously accept the offer. Thank you.
あんたら、明日
と
は何ですか？
How are you getting around?
お車？
Car?
もしそうだったら、先にナンバーを聞い
If
てくれ
that's
ま
the
すよ。
case, could I ask for your license plate number?
タイはないんですがね。
Oh, no. There's no ulterior motive behind that.
That was probably related to the checkpoints they'd set up on the way to the village. If I didn't give them my license plate number, I'd most likely be hindered in various ways. I thought about using the car I'd borrowed from the prefecture, but I was lost on whether it was okay to tell them that plate number. If the Onigafuchi Guardians was behind this incident, there was no guarantee that they wouldn't be able to find out who I was. Yup. I had to play it safe, so I elected to refrain from using the car.
いえ、実は車ではないんです。
No, actually, I'm not using a car.
バスか何かがあれば、それで行きたいのですが。
If there's a bus or something, I'd prefer that.
バスならありますよ。
We do have a bus, actually.
もうすぐ廃線になってます
The
んです
route is going to be
ね。
discontinued soon, though.
そんでいらっしゃい。
You can take that.
沖宮の駅か
It
ら出ま
departs
す
from
よ。
Okinomiya Station.
ありがとうございます。
Arigato gozaimasu.
探してみることにします。
I'll look out for it, yeah.
本当、いつ来ます？
When will you be coming?
Hinamizawaさん、初めて？
Is it your first time in Hinamizawa?
初めての土地じゃ、いろいろとご不安でしょう。
If it is, you must be unsure about a lot of things.
教えてくれりゃ、誰か行かせていろいろご案内させますよ。
If you let me know, I can have somebody show you around.
そんな。そこまでしていただくのは申し訳ないです。
Oh, no, I couldn't ask that much of you.
気にせんでください。
Don't worry about it.
これも
That's just a bit of PR we do to protect nature around the
なんです
village.
から。
Village.
Judging by what I saw at the checkpoint, the villagers were at the very least wary of outsiders. Yeah. That's why in order to move in and out of the village freely, I had to travel with somebody like Ooishi, or side with the dam protests. Having an interest in the natural environment surrounding the village tied to the peaceful type of PR that the village was using. I was a bit against having a watchdog attached to me, but that might actually work out in my favor. The entire village was fired up about the dam protests, so I might be lucky enough to hear some especially candid opinions from the residents. Given that, there was no real reason for me to refuse their offer.
本当によろしいのでしょうか。
Is it really alright?
でしたら本当に
If
助
so,
かります。
that'll really help. After that, I was shown the bus schedule and directed to which bus I should get on. Somebody would come and meet me at the bus stop in the village. After showing me around a spot I'd take interest in, there was no doubt they'd bring me to somewhere like an anti-dam information center. Then, over a cup of tea, they'd try to indoctrinate me into accepting their principles and beliefs. Well, if that was their aim, there'd be a lot of freebies involved. The world is about give and take, after all. I couldn't be going in a suit. I pulled some plain clothes out of my travel case and changed into something more casual.
Oh, hi,
Bob became a boy. Happy 2 years, Suwa. I have found a woman. What do?
You have found them? As in, like, you have a girlfriend now? Get married! Have children! Get married. Have children. Yeah. I don't know. Is that something I needed to explain? Do you need a picture or something? start a legacy, have children. Get married. No, not in that order. Hold on. Get married.
Getto marido.
I need pictures and diagrams. Baka hentai. You found a woman in the streets? Hopefully not. Okay. But congratulations. Yes, I hope everything works out.
After that, after calming down by watching some local television, I left the hotel and set out for the Okinomiya station. The bus route I was told would soon be discontinued certainly... Yeah, the bus route that I was told would soon be discontinued certainly didn't look that way. Oh! Comma! The bus route that I was told would soon be discontinued certainly didn't look that way. There was more than enough trips on the schedule, and the number of passengers was by no means sparse. That's a funny word. Sparse. It was the main link to Okinomiya, the only town in the area. The types of passengers that stood out were older folk who didn't look like they could drive, and housewives who didn't seem like they had a license. If the area was submerged at the bottom of the lake, it wouldn't matter if there was a bus route. Oh! That's why it was going to be discontinued in the unnatural scheme of things. I could catch a glimpse of the government's intent in cutting off their means of transportation to bully the village into emptying out sooner. It makes sense. According to the documents, talks between the Ministry of Construction and the locals broke down quite early. The government decided from the start to take an aggressive stance on the matter. It was like the fairy tale with the north wind and the sun trying to get the traveler to remove his cloak. Even their bullying had meaning to it. The reason why the Onigafuchi guardians resisted so violently was because the government was doing unseemly things like that. I was somebody who lived in Tokyo, so for a village or two out in the boonies like this to be submerged didn't seem like a big deal. But I guess for somebody actually living here, it would be a vitally huge problem. Yeah, you don't say.
This route will be discontinued at the end of this financial year. Thank you for your patronage up to this point. We look forward to your continued patronage on our other lines. Okinomiya Transportation.
Gazing lazily at the notice of discontinued service posted inside the bus, I counted down the number of stops until the designated one. Along the way, we passed through the checkpoint without stopping. They knew what time the bus was coming, so they had opened up the barricade ahead of time. Ah, shit! Just for me? From here on out was enemy territory. My palms at some point became coated in a thin layer of sweat.
浮田水道前へ。お降りの方はいらっしゃいませんか?
Now arriving at Yukita Waterworks. Are any of the passengers disembarking?
I hurriedly pressed the stop request button. The designated stop was announced. My eye itches. Ew. For none of the numerous passengers to be getting off here, I thought it must have be quite a remote place. Yeah. In actuality, the stop I got off was so abnormally run down, I could tell it was barely used. As soon as I stepped out, an intense atmosphere completely different than the interior of the bus assailed my body. Right now, Ooishi or Hondaya weren't beside me. That's right. At present, I was alone, in the middle of enemy territory. Bum, bum, bum. My advisories probably thought I was just an ordinary tourist, but that was nothing more than a ruse. But if, by some mistake, my true identity was to be exposed, It brought back the terrifying words I had heard at the prefectural office, that if somebody was attacked in Hinamizawa with a knife, there wouldn't be any evidence left behind. I didn't seem suspicious, did I? My clothing was currently casual. It was exactly the type of clothing that a city slicker that viewed the countryside as a wholesome getaway would wear. A camera and knapsack. Inside were various things needed for hiking. It was still only June, and maybe it was unusual. June!
Oh no. The festival. Oh no.
It was still only June, and maybe it was unusual, but the sun was shining down like it was already in the middle of summer. The fact that I didn't bring a hat must seem odd. No, it wasn't something to be that concerned about.
Detective Glaive donated
right.
$2 to the most wickedest
Oh, hi, Glaive,
Savashama.
thank you.
Oh boy, are ya winning, boss? Yep, you betcha.
Oh yeah, I am winning. Wait. There's a meme now.
Me girlfriend edited a meme, and she posted it on the Discord. Hold on. I wanted you guys to see it because it made me go.
Renegade Shuriken donated $2 to the most wickedest Savashama. Greetings, dead man. Enjoy your stay in Hinamizawa.
I will, thank you. Ah, there it is. Are you winning, boy?
Yes, Sawa, and I'm calling them slurs.
Look at how cute he is. Look how cute. It's edited from a meme we saw, and it was posted in the Discord. And the other meme is like a cat at the computer, but this time it's a playboy, and it's so cute. It's a boy. Look at it. Ah.
Yes, so I'm calling them slurs, yo. All the slurs.
Look how cute he is. He's so freaking adorable at the computer. I'm sorry, I was drinking something. Thank you, Meovan! I love it. It's so adorable. Now back to this.
Just normal. Yeah, I'm normal. Ha 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 ha. Was there anything suspicious about me? No, I'm normal. Asking that, as I turned around to look at the bus that was departing. Oh, hell no, y'all. I don't think we making it out. Oh, no. I don't think we making it
Detective
out.
Glaive donated $5 to the most wickedest Savashama. Can't believe they sent this guy over from
Right.
THW Twin Cities to go through Shishibone and then over the Hinamizawa. Least he gets to enjoy the fish fry.
I guess. Oh no. Oh no, this is bad.
Asking that, as I turned around to look at the bus that was departing. All the passengers by the window were staring down at me, silently. They were staring right at me, as if they had seen right through my proud little outfit. Just staring, looking down on me. Countless stares rained down like needles on me from the windows opened to air out the bus. All that rained down were stares. None of them were saying a word, but all the more, their silent stares told me more than 1,000,000 words could. Hurry up and go back to Tokyo, you outsider. No, there's no reason for me to speak. My quiet voice was drowned out by the sound of the engine. The bus, as if to torment me, set out slowly, and after doing more than enough to intimidate me, sped off. A thin film of sweat began to rise from my entire body.
We don't like your kind around here. I'm trying to do it. How do I spit proper? I'll get it right. Hold on. I need like a thing that dings. Does this thing? No. No. I need a bell. I need a bunch of stuff. I need a bunch of silly sound effect things. I don't want to push a button. I actually want to do the thing. Ding, ling, 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 ling.
Renegade Shuriken donated $2 to the most wickedest Sawashama. Oh look, the poi boy stare at tourists coming in.
At the tourists coming into the Sawa land. Oh no.
According to the documents, it was a village that seemed wary of outsiders. Its population was small as well. If they saw an unfamiliar face, they would be quick to identify that face as an outsider. On top of that, nobody else had gotten off at this stop. It was a bus stop that they normally just pass by. Somebody actually getting off there. There was no doubt that had drawn some attention. But this wasn't a slip-up. They were the ones who directed me to get off at this stop. There was nothing to worry about. I knew that I was nervous, since this was my first undercover assignment. My more seasoned colleagues referred to us as the new generation that didn't know how to lose their cool. But that wasn't true at all. Oh man, in order to calm my breathing down, I exhaled. Oh man, I exhaled the unpleasant air residing in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't help but pray that my apprehensions would disappear like the white clouds of exhaust expelled from the bus. There was a small shed there to serve as shelter if it rained, and it was there I decided to wait. Didn't they say they'd have somebody waiting for me? Huh? Where's the guy? Where you at? Inside the shed was one wall plastered with posters advertising the dam opposition efforts. It was like the heartfelt screams of the villagers were recorded on that wall. Inside that shelter, I felt an inexplicable pressure. It wasn't like I had any real relation to the dam project, but it still made me feel hesitant about being inside there. That's just how filled with the force of denial that space was. And inside that uneasy space was a girl. A girl.
What? Rika? Why is Rika here? Isn't this years before? Right? Is this... What? I don't understand. Not many years before? Okay. Oh, that's right, because yeah. Okay.
Inside that shed, covered in words written in broad strokes, berating the policies regarding the dam and calling for action, there was a girl sitting there with a drowsy gaze as if half asleep. The two images clashed so much that I could only stand there dumbfounded for a moment, trapped in such a surreal environment. If I stepped inside, who knew what kind of oafish noises I would accidentally make? I couldn't be disturbing this girl's slumber like that. Having thought this, I gave up on entering the shed. It was just a sleeping kid, so why was I so worked up about it? Finally, I realized this girl, to us, as a married couple, was the very image of our ideal child. Even after numerous examinations at the hospital, we didn't know for sure what our child's gender was. Whether we could tell if they were a boy or a girl was, in the end, dependent on whether or not we could get an image of their genitalia. Ah, so your kid hid. Ah. That's so funny when they do that. It's so funny when they hide it. There was, of course, no guarantee that it was a girl, but with things the way they were, the possibility was high. Even so, Yukie had been... Oh, you can actually know by a blood work done. Not that I would know, but you there in chat, they actually, through the pregnant woman's blood work, can tell because of the amount of hormones that are released, whether it's a boy or a girl. They can have a good, yeah. Anyway, it's an anime VN, so it's always a girl. Yeah. Sure, Sawa? No, I would. Just trust my word on it.
Just trust me. Why would I cheat? I want it to be a surprise. Oh, that's nice.
Hypothetically speaking, I am not like that. I like to know and plan things ahead. And that's just how I am. And be prepared. Hypothetically. Even so, Yukie had been saying that the chances that it was a boy or a girl were even. No, it all depends on the guy, actually, but sure.
As long as he doesn't do the gender reveal party. Yeah, and Hinamizawa, and then the forest burns. But what was it, though? It was a forest fire. Oh, man. You know, they should do a ad with Smokey the Bear. They should do an ad like that where he like stops a gender reveal in the forest. He just stops it. Oh man, that'd be great. Oh, but there.
But in my heart, I had already decided that our coming child was a girl. Ah. Since the day I decided that until now, it was so fun to imagine how our child would grow up that I couldn't help myself. Amongst those numerous imagined forms, the one that I thought to be the most ideal had materialized right in front of me. Of course, a little of it was due to the circumstances. In my ideal image, her hair would be on the short side. The girl in front of me, though, had long hair. It was almost as if somebody had taken my ideal and made some small adjustments. It certainly wasn't something unpleasant. Even so, I felt like I was sullying her just by looking at her like that. She had an immaculate, no, a divine air about her. Yes, I could say that about Rika. The girl with an angelic smile, with a yawn wide enough you could see her molars, woke up all of a sudden. I didn't mean to peep, but locking eyes with a girl who had just woken up like this somehow made me feel like I was playing a prank on her. I wasn't doing anything shady, but I became flustered. The girl spoke. No. Cried out?
Me. Me.
Meep? Like that character on the show with the puppets. With the orange hair? I thought it was just one of those greetings kids do. So in order to prove I wasn't a suspicious person, I responded in kind! Awesome!
Me.
Meep.
Me. Me.
Me.
Meep? The girl stared at me dubiously, like a doll, with a doll-like expression. Cute, but cold and hard to read. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. There was, after all, an unfamiliar man right in front of her when she woke up, who responded with meep when she said the same. Suspicious. She definitely thought I was suspicious.
Me. Me.
Me?
We were both at a loss for words. No, the only one lost was me. The girl in front of me, as if inquiring about my motives, stared at me intently. In this silence, I felt like I was the one who had to say something first. Damn it! This girl was way better at interrogating somebody than Ooishi.
怪しいものじゃないんだ。
I'm not anybody suspicious.
私は。
私は。
Me pa. She said it! Me pa. Me pa. Me pa. Me pa. Nipa.
Nipa?
Nipa?
Nipa. 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 Oh, it's adorable! Nipa. Ow! Nipa. Ah, my heart. Nipa. 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 Yeah. I need a soundboard. I need to set up my soundboard. Nipa. Yeah. Nipa.
What I could have only described as a cold expression suddenly blossomed into a smile, one that soon infected me. You might be familiar with the term angelic smile. To me, it was like that phrase was created just to describe the smile she gave me. The girl smiling while saying Nipa probably wanted me to return the favor in kind. That's right. This was a kid's form of communication. Having the other person emulate what you just did was a rudimentary form of mutual understanding.
Nipa.
Nipa.
Nipa. Nipa. Nipa.
It was a beautiful afternoon in the early summer. What was I doing?
Nipa. 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 Ah, yes.
Nipa.
Nipa. I love that breath of smoke. Hold on, he says Nipa. Let's do it.
Nipa. Nipa.
Very good.
Oh, well, whatever.
Nipa.
This was interesting in its own way. Yeah. If making somebody happy with just a smile was the work of angels, then this girl was definitely one of them. I couldn't help but pray that my own child, who was soon to be born, would grow up to be like this girl. That strangely gentle moment was finally brought to an end by the arrival of a car. An older person waved at me from the driver's seat. I dry smile plastered on their face, huh?
どうも、こんなぞ。
Hey there, good afternoon.
遅れて申し訳ないことです。
Ooh, what a weird accent. What a weird. Let's listen to it again.
どうも、こんなぞ。遅れて申し訳ないことです。
He's holding his teeth like this. You can hear
どう
it.
も、こんなぞ。遅れて申し訳ないことです。
Hi there, good afternoon. Sorry for being late.
昨日お電話くださった観光の方ですかね。
You're the tourist who phoned yesterday, right?
あ、はい。
Yes.
お待たせして申し訳ね
Sorry to keep you
え。
waiting.
いや、野良でちょいと遅れましてね。
I'm running a little behind because of the farm.
知ったのと、
Hop right in.
離れ天気もまんた崩れそうだから、チャケチャ
Looks
ケご
like the
案内し
weather
ます
isn't
よ。
going to hold up for much longer, so I'll show you around real quick.
天気ですか？
The weather.
ああ、ここいらは崩れると早いよ。
What a weird accent.
It changes fast around here.
まあ、夕立になるかも
There'll
な。
probably be showers again today.
そうなったら、ほんと写真さ撮るところじゃなくなるでしょ。
If that happens, won't be able to take any pictures.
ほら、乗って乗って。
Come on, get in, get in.
I'm holding my teeth together while I'm talking. It's really weird. It sounds like he's doing that. Yeah. Meep.
Turning around, the girl was standing right behind me with an intrigued expression. Her body language somehow reminded me of a stray cat that followed you around after you played with it a little. So charming.
あれ、リカちゃまじゃねえですか。
Ah.
Well, if it isn't Rika-chan.
ありがたや、ありがたや。
Arigato-ya.
Nipa.
A girl named Rika, with an immaculate smile, and the old man praising her while rubbing prayer beads in his hands. It was a rather mysterious sight to behold. So, this girl turns her face to me, tilting her head a little in a cutesy manner. After seeing that, the elder introduces me as a tourist who came to sightsee Hinamizawa.
村を観光したい若者なのです。Oh, let's hear it again. 村を観光したい若者なのです。A youngin who came to the village for sightseeing. A youngin who came to the village for sightseeing? Hunter. She's so fucking cute.
The girl, Rika-chan, said that with a smile as she clung onto my arm.
まあね。
Well, yeah.
この村の自然がとても貴重だと聞いたんで、ぜひカメラに収めたいと思ったんだよ。
I heard this village is surrounded by a precious nature reserve, so I very much wanted to record that with my camera.
私はこう見えても、とっても写真撮影が好きでね。
Even though I look like this, I really want to take pictures.
富竹2号なのです。Tomitake Mark II. Tomitake Mark II.
富高？
Huh? Tomitake. Huh.
Makino. Oh, she's so fucking cute. Makino, 僕も一緒に行ってはいけませんですか? Is it okay if I come along too?
そんな、レカちゃまが来ても、面白いことなんか何もないですよ。
We're not to come along, Rika-chan. There's nothing interesting to see.
レカちゃまは、境内で周り遊びでもしててくださいな。
You should go play near the shrine or something.
Meh. She's so adorable. She is best girl. That's right. I'll stand by that. Absolutely. Change it to classic. Can I do that in this? Hold on. Oh! Kawaii! Let's put it on this one.
A distinctly displeased expression creeped across Rika-chan's face. Being able to show one's emotions honestly on their faces was a privilege young children had.
もしお差し支えなければこの子も連れて行ってあげてください。
If it's not too much of a problem, could you bring this child with us?
Yay!
When I said those helpful words, another smile spread across Rika-chan's face, with another
Nipa!
as she clung to me again. Ah, not bad at all. I want this girl to call me Papa. No, Father. Dad? Daddy? What am I doing? Ever since I met this girl, I was completely off my game. Just calm down. Calm down, Keiichi Mahabara! Oh no, I'm not Keiichi Mahabara. I'm so weirdo.
Nothing I can do, I guess.
レイカ様はダメだ言うても聞かんしな。
never listens to ever just say no here.
知ったらんと己くだせ。
Come on, hop in.
さあさあ、レイカ様
Come
も。
now, Rika-sama too.
Great.
The old man descended from the driver's seat and opened up the sliding door of the van, which had Onigafuchi Alliance Town Council stenciled on the side. Rika-chan brushed me aside, dove into a seat, and began bouncing right away. It seemed like she was thoroughly enjoying the bouncy springs.
かんれレイカ様。
Come now, Rika-sama.
そんじゃお客さんが座れねえですよ。
If you're like that, our guests can't sit down.
こら、レイカ様。
Rika-sama, calm yourself.
Ha! Girls are nice. I wonder if my child would play around like this too. No. It was written in that guide to raising a child that you shouldn't dote on them.
Lies.
Kids are kids. You don't raise them strictly without spoiling them.
ふかふかでバインバインでニパー。ふかふかでバインバインでニパー。Yeah, this takes place a few years back. Tomatake was around back then, right? Mark II, yeah. Wait! What does Mark II mean? MK2 mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Say it! What does that, hold on! What does that mean? He's still MK2! Version 2, right? But Tomatake is not dead at this time. That just means there's another Tomatake. Right? Anyway. ふかふかでバインバインでニパー。It's soft and springy, ニパー。
ニパ
Nipa.
Yeah, and Mark 1 and Mark 2 can both exist at the same time. So that's why I didn't question it. But now you got me questioning it. Baka, why do you do this?
I'm definitely going to be a terrible father. It was decided that I would be a doting parent before my child was even born.
さんじゃお客さん。風景の綺麗そうなとこで適当にご案内し
Well
ます
then,
よ。
sir, I'll show you around some places that I think look nice.
お昼は食べま
Have
した
you
かい
eaten
ね。
lunch yet?
ー。え
Yeah,
え、ホテルで軽食を。
I had a light meal at the hotel.
そうですか。
Some desu ka?
では
Well,
参りましょうかね。
Hinamizawa 観光に出発なのですよ。We are setting off on a tour of Hinamizawa. わーいなのです。わーいなのです。
君はリカちゃんでいいのかい？
Is it alright if I call you Rika-chan?
そうなのですよ。そうなのですよ。 なのですよ。フルデリカと言いますです。My name is Rika Furude. もう繰り上がりの足し算とかもできますですよ。I can already do addition in the tens digit.
ああ、そうなの。
Oh, is that true?
それはすごいな。
That's amazing.
小指とかは折ってませんですよ。I don't count on my fingers. ちゃんと暗算でできますですよ。I do it all in my head.
The way she insisted upon that was just too cute. At some point, the nervousness I had about being alone in enemy territory had evaporated like it was never there at all. I had to be at least a little thankful that I met this girl.
じゃあ出発しましょうかいね。
Well then, let's get going.
Hinamizawa 大自然
Time
ウォ
for
ッチング。
Hinamizawa nature watching.
The old man stepped on the gas with a great deal of gusto.
Big head. Maybe she didn't want to be on the bridge. Maybe she doesn't like heights.
The old man, who was apparently named Makino. Was he the same Makino that was listed as the auditor of the Onigafuchi Guardians? Showed me around places that were all breathtaking. Even though I wasn't really here for sightseeing, I couldn't help but be impressed. First of all, this was different from the simple scenery of a city. The scenery of a charming village like this, no matter how mundane it seemed to the villagers, had a tranquil appeal to it. At first, I was only releasing the shutter as part of my tourist act, but midway through, I found myself taking pictures out of pure interest. Tourist traps had their own unique allure to them. There was nothing like that here. I was especially captivated by the unspoiled nature of the place. If there wasn't that whole uproar over the dam, I would want to bring Yukie with me here some other time, yeah. I want her to breathe in this fresh air, as well as show her this rejuvenating verdant scenery.
こんなのが面白いのですか? Is something like this that interesting? 赤坂は変な人なのです。You a strange person, 朝か。
いや、こういう円筒状の郵便ポストなんて今はとても貴重だよ。
No, these cylindrical mailboxes are rare nowadays.
どことなく漂うノスタルジックな雰囲気は渋いと思わないかな。
They have a certain nostalgic air about them. You wouldn't happen to think they're elegant, would you?
ひなみざわは楽しいですか? Is Hinamizawa fun?
まあ、楽しいよ。
Yeah, it's fun.
退院したらぜひ家内を連れてもう一度来たいよ。
Once she's discharged from the hospital, I'd like to bring my wife here at least once.
その時には生まれている子供も一緒にね。
With a child that would be born by that time.
今は出産を控えて入院しているんだ。
Why is he saying that? Because now she could be like, hey, why aren't you... Why you know there? Why you here then? Why you know there? Why you know there?
Right now, she's in the hospital, waiting to give
予
birth.
定日がもうすぐでね。
She's due any day now.
君みたいな可愛い女の子だといいんだけど。
It'd be nice if they were a cute girl like you.
お客さんはもうすぐおめでたですかいね。
Sir, it seems like congratulations are soon to be in order.
そんないけねえ
Still,
よ。
that's not good.
奥さん放り出してこんなとこに遊びに
To
来
leave
て
your
は
wife behind and play around in a place like this.
Baka! Baka, 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 baka!
I was momentarily at a loss for words. It was exactly how Mikano said. There was no reason for a man who was waiting for his wife to give birth playing around idly in this place. Did I slip up? Yeah! Well,
Hinamizawa への旅行は前々からの予定だったんで。
we had already planned this trip to Hinamizawa a long time ago.
妻の家族が付き添ってくれているから大丈夫だし。
My wife's family is with her, so it's all right.
そんな年前から予定してたんなら大自然ウォッチング。
If you had planned this so far in advance,
確かね間に合わんとかいね。
then how come you didn't make the sign-up deadline for Nature Walk?
いやそんだったらこんな窮屈な思いさせんと綺麗な観光バスで回れたのに。
If you did, you could have toured around a nice bus instead of being crimped up in here.
It didn't seem as if Makuno was actually digging for anything. But if this conversation continued any longer, it would put some unexpected holes in my cover. I halted the conversation by pretending to take another picture. Stupid! You're glowing!
最後の
Stupid!
一番景色のいいとこさ案内しましょ
Well
うか
then,
ね。
for our last stop, I'll take you to a place with the best view.
It was slightly before evening. The sun was still burning brightly, but a cool breeze had begun to mix itself into the air. It seemed my exploration of Hinamizawa with Rika-chan was just about done.
一番景色のいいところですか? The place with the best view?
そんなリカちゃま境内からの景色さを置いて他にはありませんやね。
Well, Rika-sama, where else would it be but the view from around the shrine? Ooh.
Hearing that, Rika-chan smiled even more.
では、赤坂を僕のお家へご招待なのです。Well then, I'll introduce you to my home, Asaka.
リカちゃんのお家って。
By Rika-chan's home, you mean...
神社ですよ。
The shrine.
フルデ神社。
Furude shrine.
高台にありましてね。
There's an observation platform.
景
You can
色
see
さ
some
見られるんです
real
よ。
pretty scenery.
フルデ神社。
Furude Shrine. The girl who called herself Furude Shrine. Her home, Rika. If I remember correctly, her full name was Rika Furude. And Furude was, that's right, one of the three families. Even if the Sonozaki family is said to hold all the actual power, it was still one of the old houses that held some authority. No, more important than that right now was Furude Shrine. If I remembered correctly, Ooishi had told me, within the grounds of the Furude Shrine, there were offices of the Onigafuchi Guardians. And since the land around Furude Shrine was private property, the police couldn't set foot there heedlessly. Furude Shrine, where even Ooishi couldn't simply set foot into. The main base of operations for the Onigafuchi Guardians. I had been given the unexpected opportunity to enter there. I couldn't have asked for more.
楽しみです。
I'm looking forward to it.
ぜひお願いします。
Please, if you would.
じゃあ酒酒参りましょう
Well
かね。
then, let's get there quick.
天気も少し怪しいですからな。
The weather seems to be getting a little iffy.
The sky had suddenly become overcast. It wouldn't be odd if it started raining soon. The cicadas, as if trying to finish their daily allotment of chirps before the evening, cried out even more fervently. They're trying to tell you, Glowy, you glow, Glowy, you glow, you're fucking glowy, you're glowing, get the fuck out of here, you're glowing, you're glowing, bro, get the fuck out. The van stopped in the shrine's parking lot. Also parked there were numerous other vans with loudspeakers mounted on top of them to act as a makeshift propaganda vehicles. On the side of each vehicle scrawled,
The dam project must be demolished. Defend our homeland to the last. No Oyashiro-sama's anger.
Or a slogan of a similar kind. They gave the feeling that even without using loudspeakers, they were enough to overwhelm any onlookers. Vertical banners were erected in various places. The contents of those banners were similar. They were all objections against the dam, or crude insults towards the government. They were horizontal banners, placards, and so on and so forth. They proclaimed that without a doubt, this was the headquarters of the Onigafuchi Guardians. For Rika-chan, however, this hectic place was also her home.
着きましたのですよ。
We've arrived.
ただいまなのです。
I am home. I am home. I am home. Ah.
Rika-chan crawled over my lap and excited exited. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sleepy. What time is it? No, I'm gonna keep reading. Rika-chan crawled over my lap and exited the vehicle first. Makino had noticed that I was looking at protest banners.
前座はダム反対運動の事務所も借り
This
てまして
shrine
ね。
also has the offices of the anti-dam
こ
movement.
んな風景も。
For you,
あん
this
たら
probably
に
brings
は
back
反安
memories
保
of
闘争見ていて
anti-security
懐かし
treaty
いでし
conflicts
ょ。
back in the day.
Student movements against government policies, movements that bordered on terrorist activity, were at one time commonplace, if only in order to garner global attention. Students holding out in lecture halls, brawling with the riot squads that charged in. It was an age where wasting one's youth like that was widely considered a road to glory. It was slightly before my time.
私は別に活動家ではありませんので。
I'm not really an activist or anything.
普通に学び、普通に卒業しました。
I studied without incident and graduated without incident.
国の政策にあのような暴力や立てこもりで対抗しようというのには、
I don't
私は
really
同意でき
agree
ません。
with the violence or occupations they used to protest the government's policies.
はあ。あんた、それはそれで立派な意見さんお持ちだね。
政策に意見したかったら、同じ意見の政治家に投票するか、自ら政治の世界に飛び込み、正当な手続きを持って意見を主張するべきであると思っています。
If you have an opinion on a policy, vote for the candidate who shares your view, or enter the political world yourself and assert your beliefs in a lawful manner.
それが民主政治の原点です。
That is the foundation of democracy.
それに暴力で挑戦するなど
I don't think
あっ
that's
てはならな
something
い
you
と
should
思います。
challenge with violence.
For a youngin', you have some fine beliefs.
I saw that feeling of respect reflected in Makino's gaze. At the moment, something tugged at my sleeve.
赤坂が何を言っているのか全然わからないのですよ。
She's so cute! I have no idea what Asaka is saying. He is saying words, but they are very confusing for me and my big head. Oh, she's so adorable. Okay.
Rika-chan, feeling like she was the only one who didn't understand the conversation, had a look of displeasure on her face.
The VN were nothing bad. Absolutely nothing bad. Hold on, let me do a better voice.
The VN where absolutely nothing bad happens, yo.
There, that's better. I need a sippy sip of water. Hi, Lolly. I saw your game yesterday. I assume you liked the game. I thought it was okay. Honestly, not as bad as what people were saying on Twitter. But I think I don't know if that was just engagement bait or what. I can't trust any of that shit, man. Her face says, yeah. Anyway, New Silent Hill is always nice. Okay. Okay, I'll trust you.
Rika-chan, feeling like she was the only one who didn't understand the conversation, had a look of displeasure on her face. That expression was so charming, I had to keep myself from grinning like an idiot. Whoa. It's often said that a father wants to spoil his daughter rotten. I think I understood that feeling well.
ごめんね。
ごめんね。
リカちゃんには難しい話だったね。
It was a little A little bit hard for Rika-chan to understand, wasn't it?
日本は平和の国だから、自分の言いたいことは平和的に訴えなきゃいけない。
Japan is a peaceful country, so you have to argue your point in a peaceful manner.
暴力で訴えてはいけないということさ。
You shouldn't resort to violence, in other words. No matter how much I explained, a girl who was just boasting about being able to carry digits over when adding things probably wouldn't understand. It probably wasn't something to talk about in front of Rika-chan anyway.
では赤坂。そうでん、朝か。僕たちの村はどうやったらダムに沈まなくなるのですか？ How do you think we should keep our village from being flooded by the dam?
Even I regretted my careless words. It was too late now. Here I was, at the main headquarters of an organization, telling them their way of doing things was illegal. Okay, on that note, I'll be back. I have to go check. I need more water. I gotta go get more water. I'll be back.
The Funyuns.
Detective Glaive donated $2 to the most wickedest Sawashama.
Arigato.
Oh boy, are ya winning, boss? Yep, you betcha.
Why did he play that? I'm cool with that, but why did he... What?
Renegade
Is he
Shuriken
playing them all
donated
over?
$2 to the most wickedest Sawashama.
See.
Greetings, dead man. Enjoy your stay in Hinamizawa.
That's weird. Is it because I pushed the button? I think it's because I pushed the button.
Detective
But
Glaive
why would
donated
it play them all if I
$5
pushed
to
the
the
button?
most wickedest Sawashama.
Oh!
Can't believe they sent this guy over from THW Twin Cities to go through Shishibone and then over the
that
Hinamizawa. Least he gets to enjoy
But
the
that's
fish
the
fry.
sound. That isn't the alerts.
Renegade Shuriken donated $2
That's
to the
weird.
most
It's
wickedest
never done that
Sawashama.
before.
Oh look, the poi boys
Streamlabs is
there
being
at tourists
weird.
coming in.
See, when I set up the stream deck, I set up alerts in the game stuff. Weird. Weird. Now it's just showing them all over.
Bob became a poi boy. Happy
wonder
2
why.
years, Suwa. I have found a woman. What do?
I found a woman. Oh, that is so odd. What would happen? And then it stopped there. Why did it... Oh, that was the latest one. When did it start? It started from... that one. A minute. So he goes back a minute. Ha! 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 Interesting. Anyway, back to this.
Preaching that violence was not the answer. A complicated feeling had mixed itself in with the respect in Makino's gaze. It was then I finally realized. It wasn't that simple. There wasn't a soul who would argue that what I was saying wasn't correct. Using violence to get one's way was something that everybody knew you shouldn't be proud of. However, right now, Hinamizawa was in a predicament that couldn't be overcome with peaceful means alone. The legality of the Hinamizawa Dam project through the efforts of various propaganda campaigns enacted by the Onigafuchi Guardians is being called into question. If they further strengthen their campaign, they might be able to suspend or change the construction plans. But that was at the most... the most just a possibility. If the government proceeded with the construction as planned, it wouldn't be long before this place was at the bottom of a lake. If it wasn't for the unrestrained resistance of the residents of Hinamizawa, this place might already have been underwater.
僕たちはここでしか生きていけないのです。We can't live anywhere else other than here. 都会では生きていけないのです。We can't live in this city. Oh, just put this is the propaganda. Just put your cute face on the posters and her saying that we cannot live anywhere. I don't want to be homeless. Please, don't make me homeless. Don't make me homeless, please, please. Please, Detective Wilson. Oh, so adorable.
The words of this remarkably young girl were all too accurate, carrying with them the screams of the hearts and minds of the residents of Hinamizawa. Of course, there was nothing I could say to respond to that. I could only respond to Makino and Rika-chan's heavy words with silence.
すみません。
Sumimasen.
よそ者が気安く言えるような問題ではなかったですね。
This isn't a problem that an outsider should lightly just poke their nose into, right?
謝罪します。
I apologize. Makino, unsure of how to reply for a while, could only laugh pointlessly.
お客人たちのようなよそに住んでる方々には関係ないことですよ。Hinamizawaさん気に入ってくださったんなら、お客人のお友達みんなにも
If you enjoy it here, please tell all your friends that Hinamizawa is a wonderful place, please.
そういうのが何十年何百年と広がっていけば、この村さダム底に沈めるなんてふざけた計画もやがてはついえるんですかね。
Papa, I do not want to live in the city, Papa. No, Papa. That would be so cute if she said that. Papa, no. No live in city, please. Please, Papa. If word spreads to dozens, maybe even hundreds of people, then their ridiculous plan to submerge this place at the foot of a dam will eventually fall apart.
He followed that with a smile that said,
Please don't think too much of it. It's just...
Makino, letting me not worry that much really was a stroke of good fortune. Becoming infatuated with the idea of making friends with a little girl, it made me completely forget my apprehension at being in enemy territory. Being reminded of this right before I was going to step foot into their headquarters might have been a good thing. If we had had this exchange in the middle of their office, if there was a short-tempered youth in there, they might have come at me, yeah, thinking of how extreme they were. In the worst case, my life could have been in danger. It seemed that I looked quite despondent at the moment. Makino, thinking he had said something wrong, became flustered trying to think of a way to improve my mood.
本当に軽率なことを言いました。
I was a bit careless just now.
本当にすみませんでした。
I'm very sorry.
そんなねお金にされないでください。
今日案内してもらった村のあちこちはどこもとても美しく素晴らしい場所ばかりでした。
The sights you showed me around the village were all beautiful, wonderful places.
もう一度来たいと心底思わされました。
I really do want to come here one more time.
そんな美しい村がダムの湖底に沈むことになれば必死の戦いになるのもわかります。
If this beautiful village is going to be submerged at the bottom of a lake, I can understand why you would fight so desperately. I had somehow managed to use my despondent look to change the topic in my favor. Ah, nice. After a bit, Makino had returned to his usual high spirits. It seemed he believed I completely sympathized with his point of view.
Now.
そんな話はこれくらいにしましょう。本当にとても景色さえいいところがあるんです。
行きましょうですよ。Let's go, Asaka.
Rika-chan, seemingly happy to be free from all the boring and gloomy adult talk, bounded up the stone steps. There was no real need to run, but in order to catch up with her, I also darted up the steps. There were several tents belonging to the town council erected on the shrine grounds. Inside the tents were several folding tables and chairs, and a number of the older town council members were livening things up with chit-chat. They weren't saying anything incendiary like,
"The damn project must be destroyed."
It was just some relaxed, idle chit-chat between local geezers. The normal sort of calming scenery. At the entrance of a shed that looked like a meeting place, there was a large sign erected with the Onigafuchi Guardian Headquarters written in bold brush strokes. That was their base of operations. To be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. If you asked what I had been imagining, this is a bit embarrassing, but I'd have thought it would be something more dramatic, with barbed wire fences or barricades. My first impression of the place, though, was completely different from that. It looked like a simple backwater town hall. It didn't look like anything other than that. The old folks who were chatting had noticed Rika-chan's presence.
Rika-chamaじゃないの。
Well, isn't Rika?
もう子供はお家に帰る時間だよ。
It's time for little kids to head on home.
ここは僕のお家なのですよ。This is my home.
The old guard guffawed, since she wasn't wrong. From that exchange, I could tell that Rika's Furude girl was loved by everybody.
牧野さん、その人？
Makino-san, who's that?
電話をくれた観光の
The
人
tourist
は
who phoned?
そんですよ。
That's right.
こちら村
This
長さ
is
ん
the
に
mayor of
南川
Hinamizawa.
の
Mayor
国吉村長さん。
Kimiyoshi.
Oh yeah, he disappeared in the second chapter, I think. Was it the second chapter or was it the first one? It was not the third. Yeah. Oh. He's not even in the original. Interesting.
He smiled brightly. There was no mistaking he would be scary if he got angry. By the looks of things, this old man was the president of the Onigafuchi Guardians, none other than Kiichiro Kimiyoshi himself.
ようこそHinamizawaへ。
Welcome to Hinamizawa.
いかがでしたか？
What do you think?
静かでゆっくりしたところで
It's
し
a
ょう。
quiet and relaxing place, isn't it?
ええ、
Yeah.
今日一日美しい場所をいくつも堪能させていた
I
だきま
was
した。
able to appreciate a multitude of beautiful places throughout the whole day.
貴重な機会をお与えくださったことを
I am
感謝しま
thankful
す。
for being granted this rare opportunity.
へえ。今時の若い方なのに、
Even
ま
though
た
you're
真摯
one
な
of
方
those
だ
youngins,
ね。
you're quite the gentleman.
喜一郎、赤坂に見晴らしのいいところを案内したいのですよ。I want to show Asaka a cool place. The cool place. Woo!
Thinking that the formalities between myself and the mayor had gone on for too long, Rika-chan butted into the conversation. For her to call the mayor by his first name, I felt it was a little strange, but none of the villagers seemed to mind. A girl of the Furude household, one of the three families. She was probably different than the average villager.
赤坂、こっちなのですよ。赤坂、赤坂 over here. Wow, that was weird. That was like a mix of Sawa and Tenma at one time. How weird. Anyway.
Rika-chan tugged at my sleeve. Ooh, she's touching me. Ooh. Not resisting, I allowed myself to be pulled over. And waiting for me was a magnificent view.
これはすごい。
This is amazing. It was an observation deck that looked down on the village. They, knowing that this was the best view in the entire village, kept quiet as I stood there awestruck. I was holding a camera, but I had completely forgotten to even glance through the viewfinder. This view, no matter what kind of film it was printed on, it wouldn't be able to show everything. If there was a way to explain it, it would only be what I would be able to put into... It would only be what I would be able to put into words. It was just such a breathtakingly spectacular view that I struggled to find a comparison. For a while, I was left awestruck. I could only stand there and wonder. A cool breeze helped abate the heat rushing through my body. That comfortable sensation almost left me speechless. Rika-chan, who'd been holding onto my sleeve the entire time, spoke.
僕の一番のお気に入りの場所なのですよ。This is my favorite spot.
As she said that, she showed me another adorable smile. That smile seemed very fleeting. If you ask why, it was because the view from her favorite spot would eventually be submerged under the deep green waters of the dam reservoir.
こんな村が湖底に沈むことになってるなんて信じられないよ。
I just can't believe that this village is going to end up at the bottom of a lake. I said it quietly so that only Rika-chan could hear it. I regretted it as soon as I did, for those words were all too cruel. However, Rika-chan didn't let them cast a cloud on her expression. In fact, she replied with a smile.
沈みませんよ。It won't sink. ダム計画なんて必ずなくなっちゃいますのです。It won't sink. The dam project will definitely go away.
It was just like a little girl to say something like that. There was no basis for her saying so. It was just her wish.
赤坂はこの村が沈んでしまうと思っていますか？ Oh, she's so adorable. Akasaka, do you think this village will be submerged?
沈んでほしくなんかないよ。
It's not what I wanted to be. I knew how important the dam was. I knew that it was necessary. I just didn't want to recognize the sacrifices that would be made. I agreed with the project in general, but I couldn't agree with some of the details. But if it meant that this girl's beloved scenery would be taken away from her, I might be able to object to the dam. Oh, shit! I might be able to ignore the interests of the nation, the development of Japan, all for the sake of one girl's smile. I'm not really much of a humanist, but how sentimental of me.
沈みませんよ。It won't be submerged. ダムの計画はもうすぐなくなりますですから。Because the dam project will soon go away.
Her words weren't just hopes and dreams, but were seasoned with a hint of resolve, as if she was talking about an unchangeably predetermined outcome. As surely as the sun rising in the east,
もうすぐ
it will be gone soon. Wanting to ask her why she believed that, I turned around.
はい、なくなりますのですよ。It'll be gone.
どうしてそう言い切れるんだい？
What makes you say that?
それはなのです。How would Rika know that? Well,
She seemed to want an answer, but as though unable to find the right words, she swallowed back what she was about to say.
赤坂が何をしてもしなくても Regardless of what赤坂 does ダム計画は今年で終わりになってしまうのです。The dam project will end this year. もう決まっていることなのですよ。It's already been decided.
That was a lie. If something like that had already been decided, then the Onigafuchi Guardians would have no reason to continue existing. From my point of view, it was like they were doing nothing more than throwing themselves into an endless battle. If they knew the dam project was cancelled, it would feel much more relaxed around here. This village, though, could hardly be called relaxed. For evidence of that, I just had to remember how charged the atmosphere was at the checkpoint or at the bus stop. The villagers, with their misplaced resolve, were still fighting. And this girl, even knowing the villagers' grim resolve, had already declared their victory. The villagers throwing themselves into this endless war, and this optimistic girl who said they had already won. That contrast was somehow strange.
どうしてそう思うんだい？
Why do you say that?
何か確信があるなら私に教えてくれないかい？
If you know something that makes you that confident, could you tell me? Rika-chan stayed silent for a while, seemingly choosing what to say.
だって、because...
だって。
Because? She looked like she was lost on whether she could continue or not. As if she was troubled on whether it was okay for her to say it. That kind of expression.
決まっていることなのです。It's already been decided. 他に言いようがないのですよ。There's no other way to say it.
決まっているって。言ったって。
It's already been decided, huh? Really, it's just like a little girl to say something like that. I couldn't believe it was actually true. She was the only one saying such things with such confidence. My real mission, I had forgotten about during this fun-filled day, resurfaced at the back of my mind. The kidnapping of the minister's grandson. Had the Onigafuchi guardians kidnapped the minister's grandson and already succeeded in negotiating the cancellation of the dam project? Did Kimiyoshi actually already know that and was playing dumb? Was that what this girl was trying to tell me?
Akasaka. Akasaka.
The girl called out my name suddenly.
なんだい?
What is it?
東京へ帰れ.
I just got a chill up my spine. IRL.
Go back to Tokyo.
Huh? I wasn't only surprised at that sudden command. Ever since I came to this village, I had never once mentioned I was from Tokyo. Well, based on my accent, she might have been able to guess where I was from. What was I getting so worked up over? It was probably the sudden and complete change in her demeanor.
あなたはさっさと東京に帰った方がいい。You should definitely go back to Tokyo right away. でないとひどく後悔することになる。If not, you will woefully, oh my god. You should definitely go back to Tokyo right away. If not, you will woefully regret it. Yeah, the voice changed, so I decided to do the more English sounding, scarier voice of the Tenma voice.
It is actually this one. It transitions pretty well.
As you can hear, it's the high-pitched voice of that one. Only with an accent, as you can hear from here. Yeah. I really need to do that fucking stream. I'm so nervous about doing it because I have to share my real voice to make people understand. But yeah. But I like this one because it's so fun and cute. And her accent is really nice. What are the other styles? I don't know. I'd have to experiment. I got a lot of voices in my head. Anyway. Let's hear it again. あなたはさっさと東京に帰った方がいい。でないとひどく後悔することになる。You should definitely go back to Tokyo right away, baby. If not, you will woefully regret it.
The girl had been holding my sleeve the entire time. She had been tugging at my sleeves and hurriedly dragging me over to show me this wonderful view. But this was the adorable Rika-chan, who I'd spent the entire day with. There was no way she could have been replaced with a doppelganger when I wasn't looking. She'd been holding onto my sleeve this entire time. But somehow this girl was was someone other than Rika-chan. She looked like Rika-chan. She wasn't. She was some girl I had never met before. That girl had told me in an indifferent voice that I would eventually regret coming to this village from the bottom of my heart.
それがあまりにもみすぼらしくて気の毒な姿だから。
That would be an incredibly pathetic thing to see.
今のうちから警告してあげて
So
い
I
るの。
thought I'd warn you right now.
どうして私が後悔することになる
Why would I come to regret it?
いちいちうるさいな。
Stop whining.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Such cold words coming from Rika-chan's mouth. I just couldn't believe it. Was somebody impersonating her? Using ventriloquism or something? Thinking that, I wanted to take a look around, but the girl's gaze had me pinned down, making me unable to move.
あなたの親はあなたが赤信号の横断歩道の真ん中にいるとき、どうして危ないのかを全部説明し終えるまであなたの手を引っ張らないの。リバー
When you tried crossing the road when the don't walk sign was up, did your parents finish explaining why it was dangerous before pulling you back to the sidewalk?
引っ張るでしょ。
They'd pull you back right away, wouldn't they?
まず歩道まで連れ戻してからなぜ危険なのかを説くでしょ。
They'd pull you back before explaining why it was dangerous, wouldn't they?
つまりはそういうこと。
In other words, something like that.
The girl I had spent time with, Rika Furude, would not speak like that. She would speak with a cuteness befitting her age, with brief, childish remarks, expressing her emotions honestly. She definitely wouldn't speak with such pointed words.
警告はした。
I've warned you.
勘違いしないでほしいのは私があなたを嫌いだからこういうことを言ってるわけじゃないってこと。
Don't get the wrong idea. It's not like I'm saying this because I hate you.
死んでもいい人に危険なんかを教える必要はないのだし。
You don't need to tell somebody who's better off dead that they're in danger.
君は誰だ？
Who are you?
リカちゃんじゃ
You're not Rika-chan.
ない。
As soon as I accused her of not being Rika-chan, she let out a strange, quiet giggle. It was a laugh, not befitting of a child her age. It was like she was possessed by something. Her change was just that total and complete. Was Rika-chan being attacked by some terrifying phenomenon? That occult idea came to mind without any sort of hesitation. Rika-chan is acting strange. Somebody help. Thinking that I'd yell that, I turned to where the mayor was. I immediately realized he was looking at us with a smile. That's right. To him, I looked like nothing more than me and Rika-chan fooling around. He didn't notice that there was something terrifying happening to her.
赤坂の怖がり。
Akasaka is such a coward.
The girl had obviously grasped that I was afraid. Oh no. Noticing that, and calling me a coward, she laughed again. That cackling girl, approaching me in a strange manner while I was still laughing, lost her balance and fell flat on her face. Get corrected! Rika-chan fell down. It was just a while before I would have extended a hand to help her up without hesitation. But now, extending a hand to this ominous girl who looked like Rika-chan, but wasn't, required a bit more courage than I had at the moment.
Me.
The girl cried out thus. She then squirmed upright and dusted herself off. Afterwards, she looked around restlessly as a blank expression crept across her face. You've got to be kidding me. Was she making fun of me? That way of acting. It was as though, after being possessed by something, she had lost her memories of what happened.
冗談だろ
You're joking, right?
Rika.
Rika.
Chan.
Rika-chan?
Me.
I don't know if Rika-chan had heard me or not. She just cried out as if questioning herself.
お客人 Hey, mister! リカちゃまも Rika-chan with you! お茶が入りましたよ Tea's ready! 塩大福もあるからにぜひ食ってきんさいな There's some snacks too! So come and have some!
An old lady wearing a smock was waving energetically from the entrance of the office. Hearing that there were snacks, Rika-chan's expression changed.
I'll do that, hold on. Hi, nano desu.
A carefree smile. That was a familiar smile, the one that belonged to the embodiment of my ideal daughter. Any hint of the creepy girl that was just there, spouting sinister words, had vanished.
Hola, Rika-chama! Come on, Rika-chama! 手を洗ってきんさいね Wash your hands first! バッチおててにゃ食わせるまんじゅうありんせんね There aren't any manju here for dirty hands! ちゃんと洗いますですよ I'll wash them really good! Meep.
Rika-chan responded with vigor, running off to the washing station that was along the side of the office. Baka. She stopped halfway, turning around to call me.
早く来ないから、僕は赤坂の分までおまんじゅうが食べられてホクホクなのです。If Akasaka doesn't hurry up, I'll eat his share of manju too. They're steaming fresh.お手手を洗わない人はおまんじゅうが食べられないのですよ。Oh, so cute. She's so fucking cute. Adorable. I must pat. Need to pat. People who don't wash their hands aren't allowed to eat any manju.
No matter how you looked at it, how was Rika-chan? Those words and the way she said them, no matter how you heard them, they were definitely Rika-chan's.
Come on now, mister. 大人なんだから、お手本を示してやってくださいな。You're the adult here, so show her how it's done.
The old lady urged me to wash my hands. Without any resistance, I lined up beside Rika-chan at the wash station.
Splash.
I stared at Rika-chan, intent on washing her hands properly, like she had probably learned at school.
Me? 間違っていますか? Did I do something wrong?
間違いって。
By wrong, you mean?
僕のお手手の洗い方です。How am I washing my hands? 金シールを4個しかもらったことないです。How I'm washing my hands? I only got 4 gold stickers for it. 僕はお手手を洗うのがきっと下手なのですよ。I'm probably bad at washing my hands.
間違ってなんかないよ。
You're not doing anything wrong.
それだけしっかり洗えてれば十分だよ。
If you're washing them that carefully, that's more than enough.
それだけではダメなのですよ、赤坂。But it's not 赤坂。ちゃんとたわしを使って爪の間の赤も落とさないと金シールはもらえないのです。If you don't use a brush and clean out the dirt underneath your fingernails, you don't get a gold sticker.
Yeah.
リカちゃんは真面目で偉いな。
Rika-chan, You're very diligent. That's something to be proud of.
ニパー、赤坂に褒められましたのです。ニパー、ニパー、I was praised by 赤坂。
No matter how you looked at it, it was Rika-chan. There was no trace of that girl from before. Exactly, what was that sinister girl?
リカちゃん、さっきのあれはどういう意味だい？
Rika-chan, what was the meaning of what just happened now?
さっきリカちゃんは私に東京へ帰れって
Just now,
そう言っただろ。
you told me to go back to Tokyo, didn't you?
言いましたのですか？ Did I say that?
I was at a loss for words. She didn't remember what the girl just now had said. I like I would ever believe something as occult as that could happen. Like I would ever believe that Rika-chan could be possessed by that strange girl and say those creepy things.
リカちゃんが確かにそう言ったよ。
Rika-chan, you definitely said that.
Me.
Her expression told me that, despite me saying so. She had no idea. She wasn't playing dumb. She actually didn't know. Exactly what was that just now? Just as Rika-chan had, I let out a look of confusion. I let a look of confusion creep across my face. The two of us, with looking like we had no idea what was going on, must have certainly been a humorous sight to behold. While partaking of tea and snacks, I was shown a propaganda film shot by the Guardians that highlighted their resistance efforts. Older folks talked passionately about how long and grueling the fight against the dam was. They fell on deaf ears. I was transfixed by Rika-chan, who had heard these stories countless times before and was nodding off. Eventually, Rika-chan noticed that I was staring at her, and she smiled as she rubbed her eyes. That smile was Rika-chan's. After all, there was no hint of that sinister shadow. After that, my unreasonable fear of Rika-chan lessened with the passing of time, but I could by no means forget what had happened. Oh, you shouldn't, bucko! It eventually grew dark. The mayor said they had prepared dinner, but I said I would come again tomorrow and took my leave. I had to return to my hotel and file my regular report with the section chief.
そうですか。
そうですか？
では、また明日もぜひいらっしゃい。
Well then, please come again tomorrow.
お電話さくれれば、すぐに迎えを出しますんでね。
If you phone, we'll send somebody to pick you up right away.
ご好意感謝します。
I appreciate your hospitality.
ぜひ明日も遊びに来ようと思います。
I'll probably come again and enjoy myself tomorrow.
ねえ、さしてあげてくださいな。
Yes, please do.
あんた、リカちゃまに大層気に入られたみたいだしね。
It seems that Rika-chan is taking a pretty big liking to you. 赤坂は明日も来ますですか？赤坂、are you coming again tomorrow? 明日は5次元で終わりですから、3時くらいに来てくれると嬉しいのですよ。I finished at the 5th period, so if you could come again around 3 o'clock, that would make me very happy.
Please come again. That pure smile urged me to do so. There wasn't a trace of that evil aura. Depending on what happened next, all might end up as nothing other than my hallucination. Thinking about it logically, if the daughter of the Furude household, one of the 3 families, had taken a liking to me, this was a strong foothold for my investigation from here on out. It was like a free ticket for a reason to visit Hinamizawa. If only I could treat that little incident as a figment of my imagination, then having this girl who was the embodiment of my ideal daughter grow so attached to me wasn't bad either. Call me Papa. Call me Papa. I had successfully dove into the belly of the Onigafuchi Guardians and had the mayor as well as other important members of the Alliance welcomed me with open arms. This was a great turn of events. However, I still felt uneasy. Getting back to the hotel, I forced down an almost painfully cold beer until I could clear my mind. The shock from that incomprehensibly strange incident continued to torment me.
Successfully. Oh my gosh. This is so weird. Do we stop here? Let's look at the tips if we get tips.
Going smoothly. Why, like rainy days? Barley tea, black tea, and blah blah blah.
So we're gonna read them, and then I'm gonna go. Bro is getting 100%. Bro's 100% getting demon away. I don't think so, because I don't think so. I just don't think so. He can't. No.
The sound of the car grew closer, followed by the sound of it braking as the engine cut out. At that moment, his up until now lackadaisical footsteps grew decisive as the man in the room dashed up to the wall beside the window and carefully peered inside. It was his comrade's car. Even so, he didn't relax his guard. Eventually, the sound of footsteps approached the door. Thump. Thump, 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 thump.
Oh.
It was the passcode.
帰ってきたね。開けちょくれな。俺だ。
I'm back. Open the door already.
ああ、お疲れ。今開ける。
You must be tired. I'm opening it now.
After the locks were undone and the door opened, a man appeared, his arms laden with swollen plastic grocery bags. The bags in his hands had Sevens Mart written on them, with bread and milk cartons able to be glimpsed within. The contents of those bags were then spread out over a sheet on the floor.
カップラーメン買ってきちゃう。お湯沸かせな。小僧はどうしてる？
I brought cup noodles, so go boil water. What's the kid doing?
ずっと寝てる。
He's been sleeping the entire time.
手がかからなくて助かるよ。
Thank God he's not causing any trouble.
うんこ垂れるときは騒ぐけどな。
He did struggle a bit when he said he was gonna shit himself.
漏らさせんな。弁臭は万一の時、やばいって。
Don't let him shit his pants. He gets stuck if hard smelling out there outhouse there.
分かってるよ。
Yeah, I know.
猿グツワは定期的にチェッ
Then
ク。
take the gag off him.
外れてもまずいん。
We don't
きつ
want
く
him to
も
get
締め
loose,
付け
so
ちゃ
keep it tied.
窒息させたら意味がなん。
If it's not so tied, then
This sounds, hold on. Check the gag every now and then. We don't want it to get lit. No, that didn't work. 2:30 here. Oh no, Baka.
hey, he is breathing.
分かってるって。
I said I know.
携帯コンロのガス管頼まなかった？
Huh? Didn't I ask you to pick...
Oh, this is a man. Hold on.
I said I know, huh? Didn't I ask you to pick up another can of gas at the portable shop?
もうガスねえよ。
聞いてね。だは。
Oh, they're fighting.
I never asked you yet.
マジかよ。ついてくれよ。
Seriously, come on.
We gotta wait.
We gotta work, damn it.
He rattled the portable stove as he struggled to get it to light. Seeing that, the man who went to buy supplies let out a deep sigh. And with a backwards glance at that sight, began to walk to the corner of the room. The kidnapped boy was sprawled out on a sheet that was spread out on the floor.
小僧、元気かいな。
Boy, you doing okay?
Of course, the man didn't assume the kid was able to hear the question. That was because the boy's ears were plugged, with his eyes and his ears thoroughly covered by packing tape. Also, his mouth was gagged with a thin, twisted towel. Because of that, the boy wasn't able to close his mouth properly, his cheeks sticky with his own saliva. Of course, that wasn't the only reason. Both his arms were tied tightly behind his back with a leather belt.
今んところ順調らし。 命の心配はない。
It seems like you're doing okay. At least you're not gonna die.
お前のじいさんがしぶり寄った。
Grandpa wanted to play tug. We
耳
might
たぶ
have
の
had
一
to
つも
chop
切り
off
落とさなきゃならんか
had
っ
to
た
chop
んけ。
off the ear.
やらんくて済んで助かりよんよ。
It'd be great if we don't have to.
本家はこうと決めたら鬼やんね。どんな残酷なこと命令するかも想像つかん。
Damn. If the main family said we do though tough luck, I ain't imagine what you wrote in there.
その本家が小僧に傷一つつけるな言うてんから、とにかく順調なんだろんな。
The family says not one scratch on them though. So it seems like
大臣はダム計画の撤回で水面下工作。Hinamizawaダム計画は無期凍結へ。
The minister is secretly withdrawing the dam project. The Hinamizawa Dam is indefinitely postponed.
小僧の解放はいつ頃になるんだろうな。早く一服したいもんだぜ。
I just wanted this to be done already.
本家が決着のタイミング測ってるらしい。いつになるかはあらんが、近いうちやんな。
that main family ought to be gaining that time, and I don't know when it'll be, but probably soon.
よかったな小僧。もうじき解放されるぞ。
Isn't that great, kid? You get to go home real soon. The men didn't know if their voices were heard by the boy. For him, there was nothing he could do but continue to sleep to escape his harsh reality.
それよん、ガスをどうするんね。ラーメン食えんよ。
More importantly, what are we gonna do about that gas? We can't eat the noodles raw.
ガス切れたなら言うてえなも
We're out of
う。
gas. Say something, G. Noodle. Yummy noodle. That sounds good. I should eat noodles. How you like rainy days? Okay. The weather forecast had predicted that it wouldn't rain at all this entire week. It's not that I hate sunny days or anything. When every day is the same, unchanging sunny weather, however, anybody would long for a rain cloud or two. It's simply clear skies for a week, a month, a year. Anybody would long for a rain cloud or two. The weather specialist said that they had carefully scrutinized a large quantity of past data, so it wouldn't be so likely for the forecast to be wrong. I knew as much. But even then, there was occasionally a day where I was hoping that it would be wrong, as I stared up into the clear blue sky. Was I being mischievous in hoping so? I waited and waited, feeling almost suffocated by the boring blue sky, undisturbed by a single cloud. If you could dive from that suffocating feeling, then the population of Earth probably wouldn't have increased to this point. In other words, the only person who was being suffocated by this was me. And so, I welcomed the summer evenings where not even the weather forecast could predict a sudden shower. If I were to explain it like this, you would understand it a bit more about how I feel. If I were to explain it like this, would you understand a bit more about how I feel? Let's say that tonight's dinner was going to be curry rice. But when you're called down to the dinner table, what was waiting for you was instead an eggplant and bell pepper stir fry. This was just on your mother's whim, by the way. I would be delighted by such whimsy. I don't really like eggplants or bell peppers, but still, I would be delighted. The fact who translated? I'm gonna calm down. Where's my water? The fact that the pre-established routine of curry rice had been broken would be amusing. If tonight was repeated 100 times, and 100 times you had to eat curry rice, yet for this one night,
that was changed to an eggplant and bell pepper stir fry. There's no way you couldn't enjoy that chance happening. I hate pre-established routines. I really hate when things are all decided beforehand. I have no love for boredom. I always get my hopes up that something today will be different from yesterday, no matter how trivial. It's been decided that this entire week starting today was going to be clear skies. The weather forecast decided upon it, so the god of weather must also feel obliged to do so. But who's to say that a rain cloud might not just show up one day on a whim? It's something that nobody can say for sure, but because that thought remains in this world, a creature such as myself can continue living without being suffocated. Tomorrow will probably be a hot and clear day. However, I'm the only one that knows that predetermined fate, even with a slim 1% chance. Something. Wait, who's talking? I think I know. Oh. However, I'm the only one that knows that predetermined fate, even with but a slim 1% chance, sometimes changes. Hoping for that 1%, I hung upside down weather charms on my sunlit how do I say this?
Eaves? I only know Eves. ¿Qué es esto? Trouser. Trouser? Eves a trouser. Eavesdrops? Eavesdrops. Eavesdrops?
Eavesdrops. In the end, I spend my days waiting for those unexpected things in life to happen. I pondered why I was hoping for it. Was I hoping for a rain cloud? The answer was simple. I've had my fill of clear skies. Then why was I hoping for a rain cloud? The answer was simple. The fact that it was going to be sunny tomorrow was boring. So why was I hoping for a rain cloud? In the end, it doesn't really matter whether it rains or shines tomorrow. Basically, it was just that the rain would water my heart, which was withered with boredom. That's why, rather than a TV drama where the plot's already been decided, I prefer to look up at the sky.
Your blood
その
pressure
お
has
年で
improved.
これだけ
You're
の
recovering
回
as
復
quickly
力
at
が
your
あるの
age.
は
I'm rather impressed.
お嬢さんなら100でも200でも元気にお過ごしになれますね。
Oh, this is a grandma, I think. Or a grandpa, I don't know.
At this rate, you'll be kicking after a couple hundred more years, Oru-san.
The young doctor, in his medical coat, said that as he undid the blood pressure cuff from the arm of an old woman tucked away in her futon.
入江の先生はほんにお上手で、わしんたいな死に損ないは早うしなんと若者の邪魔になっていけんね。
You're a very good physician, Dr. Airi. If a persistent old fart like me doesn't hurry up and die, I'll just be in the way of you young folk.
The old lady, Oryu, laughed faintly with a broad smile on her face. Then, turning towards the sliding door, she called out in a strong voice.
しみこさん、かたえこさんおらんね。入江先生に麦茶でも入れてやりゃな。
Is Shimiko-san or Take-san there? Bring some tea for Dr. Airi.
The sound of rushed footsteps from the hallway drew closer, until finally the door slid smoothly open. What it revealed was a young girl. It looked like the old lady's granddaughter.
シミコさんは今日はもう上がっちゃったよ。Oh, she's so adorable! Hold on. Ah, no, it needs to be this one. Oh, so adorable! Shimiko-san already left for today. Do you need something?
ミオン、入江の先生に麦茶を入れたってんな。
Leon, need some barley tea for Dr. Irie. うん、了解。抹茶も飲む？ Oh, she's so adorable. Okay, got it. Do you want some too, Granny? 紅茶の方がいい？ Or would black tea be better? 砂糖もミルクもたっぷり。That's the high-pitched version of this voice. You just scoot it up a bit, and you get to hear. Isn't it cute and adorable? Isn't it lovely and cute and adorable? I think so. Okay, got it. Did you want some too, Granny? Or would black tea be better? Want lots of milk and sugar?
わしが加減するから入れんでええんね。砂糖壺とミルクも一緒に持ってきてんな。
I'll measure it out myself. You don't have to put any in. Just bring the sugar jar and some milk when you bring the tea. Hi, hi. Hi, hi. KK.
The girl named Mion, after giving a rather uninterested response to her taskmaster of a grandmother, returned to the hallway.
先生の麦茶は来客用のガラスジャーに入れるんよ。ちゃんとお座布団もつけてな。
Pour the doctor's tea in the cups for the guests. And make sure you bring a coaster too.
水滴もちゃんと拭き取っとくんね。
Also make sure to dry the outside of the glass, okay? わかってるって。うっさいな。Yeah, you're such a fussy pants.
A tired voice wafted a reply from down the hallway. The pathetic tone of voice was far from unusual. Or the apathetic voice. The old lady let a this word, he loves this word. Why smile slip across her face as she chided the girl.
しょうがないやっちゃな。叱られるうちが離んねえ、なんたく。
Geez, that girl just won't learn. I think I ever scolded her about sticks.
おりょうさん、まあ、そこまでは言わなくても、ミオンちゃんも若いなりに頑張ってますから。
No, you son. You don't have to say that. Mion-san is doing her best in her own way, even though she's so young.
あれの母親もな、しょうがないやっちゃったんだ。
Her mother was the same way.
よう似とる。
Couldn't teach her anything. An apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
で、その母親の母親もまたそっくりなんじゃないですか？
How do you know? How hear that?
で、その母親の母親もまたそっくりなんじゃないですか？
Wow, that's a mouthful. How do you know? How do you know? How that's a mouthful. Whoa. Kind of fun. So her mother's mother must be exactly the same, no?
The old lady burst out laughing. Her expression showed she hadn't taken the comment the wrong way.
入江先生、申し訳ない。症状を開けてもらえんけんね。
Dr. Irie, I'm sorry, but could you open the doors for me?
風が涼しそうだわ。
It seems there's a nice cool breeze outside.
The cool chirping of the higurashi had at some point started leaking through the gap in the doorway. Irie stood up and opened the door a bit. A refreshing breeze pushed out the stale air that had built up in the room.
日中はだいぶ暑くなったように思うんですが、まだ朝夕は涼しいですね。夕べは少し肌寒いくらいでした。
It's gotten fairly hot during the day.
But the evenings are still rather cool, aren't they? It was almost downright chilly last night. Yeah.
そんな朝夕もまたHinamizawaのいいところな。
Those types of mornings and evenings are another one of Hinamizawa's fine points. Irie replied with a smile as he returned to sit on the cushion beside the old lady. And then the two of them, for a little while, soaked in the voices of the Higurashi.
わしゃ100まで生きにせ。もうしばらくは死ねんよ。
I'm going to try and live to 100.
ダムの剣きっちり蹴りつけるまでは勘の蓋かって収まらんわ。
Until the business with the dam is proper finished, I ain't kicking the bucket just yet.
国が一度決めたことを撤回するのはなかなか難しいでしょうね。
Getting the government to withdraw a decision they've already made is a fairly difficult thing to do.
国のやることはないつの世も一周すますみたいなもんね。そんでもだいぶ重いやっちゃ。
The way this country does things is like turning a millstone. A heavy one at that.
石臼
A
ですか。
millstone?
知らんねか。
Don't you know? A millstone.
Irie quickly affirmed that of course he knew what the old lady was talking about. For he knew full well that Oryu didn't like having her stories interrupted.
国の石臼はなんでもゴリゴリ引いちまう。大したもんよ。
This millstone, see, can grind anything to a pulp. It's rather impressive.
でも簡単には回らない。重い石臼なんねんな。
But, you see, it doesn't turn that easy, because it's a rather heavy millstone.
たくさんの人間がせーのってやってようやくじりじりと動き出す。そんな石臼なんよ。
Lots of people have to work in unison to get it to even budge. It's that type of millstone.
Irie pursed his lips, listening quietly to what she was saying. Eventually, Mion returned with some tea laid out on a tray. Seeing that Oryu was talking and in a good mood, she quietly knelt down and laid out the sets for the barley and black tea, careful not to interrupt.
だから一度回り始めたら簡単には止められんね。
That's why, when it gets going...
回し始める一番初めが一番重い。
That's why when it gets going, it's not easy to stop. It takes the most effort to move it right before it starts turning.
それが嫌だからみんな手を休めんとゴリゴリ回し続けるんね。
Everybody hates that, so everybody keeps pushing it along with the rest.
摩擦係数の話でしょ。確かにバッチャの
You're
話
talking
理
about
屈はある
friction,
ね。
right? I get what you're saying.
ちゅうことはだ。
So, in other
何
words...
かの間違いで突然石臼が止まっちまったらまた回すにはどえらい力がかかる。ちゅうこったな。
So, in other words, if there's some sort of mistake, the millstone suddenly stops turning. To get it turning again takes a great deal of power, more or less.
確かに一度中断した計画をもう一度動かすのに必要なエネルギーはかなりのものでしょうね。
Certainly, to get a project that's been suspended going again takes a lot of work.
簡単には止められん石臼だけどな。
It's a millstone that
一
isn't
度止め
easily
れば
stopped.
二度とは回らん。
But once it's stopped, it'll never turn again.
そういう石臼よ。
It's that kind of millstone.
石臼を止めるいい手があればいいんですがね。
It'd be nice if there was some way to get that millstone to stop, wouldn't it?
When Irie responded to that, Mion and the old lady suddenly sunk into silence. Irie, instinctively thinking he had said something rude, searched in a small panic for the words to correct himself. But that silence Silence wasn't the result of rude words. For what crept across Mion and the old lady's faces were contemptuous smiles. The atmosphere surrounding Irie suddenly froze, leaving him flabbergasted. Thinking that the scornful smiles creeping across both of their faces was a result of some mistake of his, he could only grow afraid. It hadn't been that long at all since he was enveloped by silence. However, unable to understand it, Irie could only let out a weak laugh. Irie's laugh eventually spread to Mion and the old lady, not knowing exactly what they were laughing at. Their laughter left a lingering chill. The only ones not laughing were the Higurashi, who continued their simple and unchanging chorus.
And with that, I'm going to save. I'm going to close it. Where are we going? Oh, no, I don't want to continue. I gotta go to bed. Baka. Yes. Okay, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for donating. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's pretty late, so I better get going. Let me know what you think so far in the comments. Let me know what you think. What's gonna happen? Let me know. Unless you know already, then don't tell me. Don't tell me. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Baka.